Alright, I saw that comment. Good! Num num numbing! Hello, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. We're back with Session 9 of Atelier Ryza 3. I didn't think we'd done this many sessions of this game, if I'm honest, already. When I started setting it up, I almost put in Session 7. I was like, yeah, Session 7 sounds about right. And then I double-checked it. It's like, oh no, we've already done a Session 7 and a Session 8. Whoops. But I hope you're all doing well as always. Today is the mission to try and break out Empel and Lila. Those guys have been kind of forgotten about for the past couple of streams of being real. Because we keep on getting distracted by everything else. I'm also wearing new costumes on a couple of the gang. The Eastern themed costume set came out and I love it. In the previous stream I was talking about how if they moved away from swimsuits, I just want them to get super creative with the costumes. This is kind of what I meant, because this is actually a really cool costume. Patricia in particular looks brilliant. She gives me EO vibes a little bit from Samurai Maiden, but she looks brilliant. Anywho, it's been a smidge since we last played. And by that I mean I haven't really played this game since we last played it. Oh yeah, we were trying to make perfume. So give me a second to kind of... in the Ryza 2 costumes, that's fair. So give me a sec to kind of... well, there's stuff to do anyway, but kind of like find my bearings again. Because you got a Virgil costume. Yeah, man, that would fit us so perfectly. But the thing is, the fact that I'm going through this game kind of slowly means we are kind of keeping on top of a lot of, like, the content as it comes out. Like, you know, there's been 2 patches since launch day. There's been these extra costumes and stuff. There's extra craftables made. Like, there's been a fair amount of, like, extra content. So it's like we're kind of seeing more of it as we go. Sis! Oh, Dion, what's the matter? I took a look at the village. So this is the village where you were raised. It feels so nice and calm here. That must be because there's nothing loud or inciting here. Yeah, no other choice than to be calm. I don't think that's it. We shouldn't Ryza 3 anymore. That's fair, dude. If you're pretty much done saying up till now, I never really left my village. What I'll probably do, if we finish this game, like finish the streaming session, and like the DLC areas aren't out yet, which there's probably a good chance that'll happen, I'll wait until all the DLC areas are out, and then I'll do one stream checking them out, because they usually are kind of like scarce on plot, you know, so they'll just put like a nice little extra thing to kind of run around and mess with. So that we can make that like a one-off stream. But if I just if I just stream it as soon as the first DLC drops, sort of thing, like the first area DLC drops, that could be a very short or uneventful stream, you know? So everywhere I go outside the village was new and eye-opening for me. Which made me feel out of place and anxious. You? Anxious? But this place is like my village. It feels familiar to me. It just makes me feel kind of safe. Look at these 3 schmucks. What? So what you're saying is that this is the countryside. That's it. Oh, he said it out loud. I don't mean to be rude, but it's more prosperous than your village. The scenery's different, but it's basically the same. May not be much, but the town has been growing lately. Well, my village has grown from what it used to be. Come on, stop right there. Both of them are the countryside, so there's nothing to compete over. It appears so. It's just country tales all the time. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to act like this in front of Claudia or Patty. Like, it's kind of charming in a way that, like, you know, Ryza had nothing to do with this village at the start of Ryza 1, yet here she is now defending it. She's like, no, it's not that bad. Like, she might not have been prepared to admit it in Ryza 1, but she's sure as shit a country bumpkin. And I mean that enduringly. Oh, I could have just warped up here, but I just felt like taking the scenic route. And I'm still missing treasure chests here, so it's a good thing this one. You know what I'm also missing from Kirkin Island? Pamela. Where is she? Where's my girl? Where's my wife? I miss her. Thinking I'm a child, how do you? But I love you, immature, said Ryza. Yeah, exactly. There's been a severe lack of Pamela in this game. Just a normal quest. Alright, so at least we'll get to see her a bit. It's something I'm looking forward to when we go back to like the Island and Dust games. It's just seeing more Pam. This is my worst habit. I just miss Pam. She's like my favourite like franchise-wide character. What's this? Hmm? Vegetables, obviously. Check them out, I'll do it in a minute. I could tell that much. I'm asking why there's a big pile of it here. And so much of it. Oh, this? I got it from the neighbours. Today might be more than usual. Wonder who it's from. Kind of spooky seeing a pile of things in front of the house and not knowing why. Well, now that you mention it, you might have a point, I can't deny it. This is normal here, though. Leave perishables lying around and they'll go bad. Better share them than let them rot. It'd be unthinkable in the capital, definitely. Sardonica isn't as big as the capital, but it's similarly hard to imagine. I can't remember which one between the posh characters I gave the higher voice, so I'm just going to kind of write it out. Between the posh voices I do, which one I gave higher, between Federico and Pat. Also, Patty being Io makes way too much sense. Right, like, I can't be the only one, like, even ignoring personality. This costume makes her kind of look like Io. Right? Like, just have her be blonde and you've got, like, a distant relative. What you gotta do, kind of duffing. In the capital, you wouldn't so much as know who your neighbours are. Just getting something from a neighbour is very rare. The more I hear, the more it seems that the capital is both full of people and doesn't have anyone there. We talk to people more on the island. I feel the same way on that count. I think that's probably because in the capital, and people in the capital have no interest in other people. They're too busy to have time for other people around them. Well, I don't really get it. City or country, they both have their pros and cons, but I like this better. So there's like a shit ton of character quests. But yeah, I hear you, dude. It'd be fun to do like a dubbing thing, but I have no idea what we'd do it on and how we'd get it to work. Character group, yeah. That's like the biggest thing. And so, I mean, to be fair, like, Ryza kind of went through that whole story arc in Ryza 1, because at the end of Ryza 1, she was a lot more appreciative of her village. But equally, it's like, man, Ryza really has come a long way, considering she had nothing to do with her village at the start of Ryza 1. Horrified hearing Ryza say, yeah. Like, I think, though, like, most of the reason Ryza started adventuring in Dude, are you doing alright? What? Where'd he go? Let me just, we didn't see anything. Lance? What's he doing? What's going on, Len? Hey there, Ryza. This guy was just telling me something interesting. Who? From the bakery. He has a store near Kirkin Port. Don't you know it? Oh, now you mention it, I remember one. Hardly ever went, so I forgot it. Oh, it's not that popular, so I can't blame you for that. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm far from the port, and I don't have a lot of chances to buy bread, so... Me, on the other hand, I've been there plenty since I was a little kid. Oh, is that right? See? We were pretty broke, so I had to get my food myself. I wouldn't have enough to eat some days. But the people around us would take turns giving us food each day. The baker gave me crusts, and the ends of loaves and stuff too. It was a huge help. Oh please, it was just leftovers. It's nothing special. You make me blush. Besides, this is a poor village. We all help each other however we can. Oh, I see. I had no idea. So what were you talking about? Well, the thing is, there's been a sudden order for a lot of bread to be sent to a traveling merchant outside the village. That's fine, but I'm out of flour right now. I need good quality wheat flour to make the bread. Hey, Ryza, maybe you could do something. I'd like to help him out if I can. Sure, he looked after you, so I'm happy to help. Really? Oh, thank you so much. That'll help a lot. I'll pay you back, of course. Thanks, Ryza. Once you've got the flour, just hand it off to him. Please, I'll be counting on you. Do I have any flour? I think I do. 20! Alright, you can wait, my guy. You can wait. Character quest over there. That one, this one might involve lumber, so I can just get it out the way. It's close enough to that fuck. I wonder what the archipelago is going to move. Everyone's complaining about it starting to affect fishing. I get what you want to say, but we're doing what we can. Please hold out a little longer. I'm looking into all kinds of things too. The more of a ruckus you make, the longer it takes to find a solution. I do realize that telling you doesn't help much, Mr. Brunnan. Still though. Oh hey Patty, what are you doing out here? Need boss or something? And you should go straight to... Ah no, not exactly. I heard from Mr. Tao that Mr. Boss is from a powerful house. Actually seeing it really hammers that home though. Oh yeah, he didn't act like it in the capital, so I nearly forgot. Mr. Brunnan bugs him a lot about becoming a proper heir soon too. I'm an only daughter, so I'm similar here. My father tells me all sorts of things about the house, lots of talk of taking a husband too. Really? Taking a husband? So getting married? Yes, Ryza, that's what taking a husband means. Only as a possibility. I'm technically of a noble house after all, so it came up in talks of the future. What about you, Patty? Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't thought that much about my position or future. My position as the only daughter of a nobleman doesn't change much though, so I'm aware of the realities. It's a problem that needs to be solved. I mean, yeah, tower's an option there, Patty, come on. It needs to be solved? Yes, but I have no idea what to do about it. There is one thing I'm no help with. It's like Ryza's like, I'm shit at romance, you figure it out. You should try talking to someone else. Wow, Ryza really just went, I have no idea, I'm not helping, bye. That's the shit, Ryza just went, I have no fucking clue, bye. Yeah, Patty will figure it out. Oh. Hello, Agatha. Yep. Still sees Agatha as a bit of like a mentor-y big sis figure. He's getting super happy the moment she sees her. Len, Agatha, what are you talking about? Looks fun. Oh, Ryza. Nothing that fun. Just saying I can't keep up with Lent anymore. What do you mean? I've been working on my sword skills as village guardian, but Lent's better at it these days. And your other friends who came to the village don't exactly look weak either. Even that bullied kid, Tao, fucking wow, fucking got him. Looks stronger than me these days. That's all I was saying. Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I was telling her she's being too humble. I can barely look Agatha in the eye even now. That's right. Even I'm still a little scared of you deep down. Wow. Even I was like, alright, thanks. That's because you keep causing all kinds of trouble and make me yell at you. Yeah. Oh, scary. You two deal with monsters that are actually dangerous, and somehow you're scared of me. It's, imprinting or something. It's a PTSD. Yeah, from when we were kids, you'd always shout at us, "You scare me more than monsters." Honestly, I'm hurt. I need to take it that far. Because I've missed Agatha a lot in Ryza 2. What happened, Patty? Are you okay? Are you sick or something? No, that's not quite it. I was looking at the marketplace, and I was a little shocked by how cheap everything is. Cheap? Do you think so? This is about normal, isn't it? Compared to the capital? I heard from Mr. Tao, so I had some idea. But it's hard to believe seeing it myself, and I didn't know what to do for a moment. Jeez, you really overreact. I don't know how anyone manages with such prices. You'd go broke immediately. If you say so, it's not like big numbers are all that matters. I mean, we manage, obviously. We don't have a lot of staff, but that's a separate issue. Looking from my perspective, it's not the village being cheap, but the capital being expensive. We use things called barter, and he said banter. Yeah, they banter with each other. They just playfully bully each other all the time. Called barter too, just trading without money, you know. Patty, sweetheart, bartering is a thing. How do you not know what bartering is? That's a face. I didn't know that a change of location could mean such a different life. I've never thought about it. You really love to overreact, Patty. Clip that. Maybe. I just feel for Patty a little bit. How much of a bubble does she live in? You know? How much of a bubble did she live in that she's never heard of what bartering is? I was very tempted. I think it was like session 2 or 3. Whenever it was we went to the big city in Ryza 3, I was very tempted to clip the game when the game glitched out in the cutscene for that. Very fucking tempted. I held off because I was like, no, I kind of want to stay in Gus's good books, and suddenly like just highlighting a big like glitch that we bumped into like that might be a bit troublesome. So I ended up not, but I was very tempted to because it was funny. And if you missed and you know what I'm talking about, I started a cutscene with Ryza soaked because I literally warped to it from deep sea diving, and for some reason, her being soaked during certain cutscenes fucks with the properties of other characters if they make contact with her. And about 4 different characters made contact with her in that cutscene, and all of them T-posed the rest of the cutscene. And I was like, ooh, because I wasn't aware that was a thing. We need 20 of these fucking things, right? Can I dupe this? Oh, I don't have enough. Hang on. Oh yeah, the Goldatrons we brought. I still need to fucking figure out where I can get the Chimerian. The next ore level. Because it feels like we should have that by now, if we can literally buy Goldatron. Ah, that'll do. We had 16, right? Actually, I want a couple extra spare flowers. I'll make a couple more. Do that. Nice. Double checking there's no, like, secret other events tucked away. I said, is there anything in the hideout? I know that you kind of don't have a reason to return to the hideout anymore, but I feel like I want to at least check to see if there's like a random extra cutscene. Oh wow, what did I... how did I know? Wow! Is this the place I've heard about? That's right. This is our very own secret hideout. She's got... Oh, Ryza's in her like super smug mode again. We used to cause all sorts of trouble then, so the adults kept a close eye on us. So we built this place to stay out of the adults' sight and do whatever we want. Looking back on it, I don't think we ever learned our lessons by the time we grew up. You say that now? Yeah, it was 4 years ago already, but this place is still pretty clean. That's because I've been taking care of it, and keeping it spick and span, other than my room, that is. I always wanted a hideout like this! This is what everyone dreams of. Ryza nodding, she's like, yeah, damn right, keep praising. I know what you mean, a secret hideout is so romantic. If that's how you feel, Dion, feel free to use it as much as you like. Someday you might want to build your own, but until then, you can hide away here. Really, sis? Then I'll feel free to use it. I'm gonna go look around the place. Ryza watching him run off with a smile like a proud parent. Oh, can I still use this? You can. I was gonna say, can I still use this to reinforce stuff? Alright, let's go turn this in. Yo, I got your... Some of the NPCs in this game are weird. It immediately started raining. Ah! Oh, thank you. It'll be fine now. This is my thanks to you. I'm sorry I don't have much to give, but... glad it worked out. And you, Ryza, thanks a ton. I owe that bakery a lot, so... I'm just happy to help. They kept looking after me when I was a little kid. I feel like I finally paid that debt. I mean, you did all the work, Ryza, but... well, even that's because you put a word in for me. None of us could do this when we were kids, including me. Alright, that's fine, I guess. Guess I've grown up a bit then. I like how, because of the mask with the costume, it kind of looks like Ryza's cat ears from this angle. No, I think that's about it for everything we can do right now. Oh, what's in Pixie Forest? Oh, right, that still. Yeah, we need to find where Delphi roses are. For Tao, we'll get to that. And we need to make this for plot, and we still need to do that one. That's for different levels, okay. Necklace. I'm still trying to find like where the next ore could be. Oh Jesus, how many SP do we have? Whoops. I just spoiled like 3,000. I was like, uh-oh. Hang on, when did we get that? Yeah, when did we get nearly 4K? Whoops. I know I was doing a bit of work off screen, but whoops. Oh, there it is! God damn you, game. Finally, we found it. It is on the skill tree. It's up on quality. So I was leaving it, so I was like, oh, we don't need to worry about quality just yet. Time SP. Yeah. I have item rebuild. I just don't use it enough. But we can now upgrade all our weapons because we can get better ores. And there's Mika and Goldtrons. Revised and fully recovers all allies have been reduced to KO and temporarily reduces the damage received. Reduces CC consumption by 2, but reduces its PAP. No, we'll do Nursing Angel then. Oh, quality. Oh, no, I saw the free. Oh, we won't have enough to fill that up. I'll do that instead. Oh wait, what can I make out of Goldatron? Oh, Baron Crown. Right, okay. I always forget that that's a thing. That's in all 3 Ryza games, that you can make a crown off the Goldatron. I always fucking forget. Oh wait, before I start doing like the stuff I want to get, maybe we should get caught up on the plot stuff. Hang on a minute. There. I finished it. A purification equipment to attach to the distillation system. With this, perhaps... All finished? Ah! Oh, you scared me. When did you get here? Pretty much the same time you said I finished it. You seem pretty confident. Yup. If we hook this up to the current desalinator, it should purify the water. But we won't know how much until we try it. Then let's give it a shot. Okay, I'll install it. Great work, Ryza. Really. Wow, you're so reliable. You've grown a lot yourself, Tao. Right, now we can worry about us. What are we trying to beat, actually, before I get carried away? If we're making a new weapon, what are we actually trying to be better than? 68, 27, 22. Oh, actually, before we get too carried away, oh, that's... okay. You can get rid of the 2 we brought. Oh, that's something I need to show off. Oh, I've upgraded some of my background equipment. I'll show you that in a sec. We've got a few 3-star equipment now. I'll do for now. How many can we... Only 7 more? That is cruel. I'm doing it. We need the... We'll be using them anyway. Wait, what's Great Road ahead? Reduces wait time and grants a chance to deal stun damage. Oh, are we going to need more of them? Yes, but that's for 5. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it. You know why? Because we've got Goldatron. I'll keep a hold of that for later. We probably could just wait for that. Our equipment right now is pretty good as is, so we could probably just wait for that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Save us building a whole set of weapons just for us to then immediately unlock the next set of weapons. You know? But if I go outside quickly so I can show... I have almost 5-star everything. I don't have a good axe and I don't have a good sickle yet, but I have... these things are 5-star at least. Okay, you don't do anything good in passing. Alright, bye dude. Depiction of the devil. We still haven't got that. Take a one-day break and head back to... Oh! Let's do that first. Where's my front door? I went all the way around like an idiot. God damn it. The roll trophy is painful RNG. Yeah, it was... I remember it being, like... I know it works a bit differently, but I remember it being really bloody annoying in Ryza 1. It was like one of the more annoying and just time-wasting trophies to get. I remember like just getting like... It was like the get everything to rank 10 trophy was that one's version. Ryza, did you do something? What? No, I didn't do anything. Ryza, you're 22. Yeah, you have to explain it properly. Ryza, did you do something to the Kirkin fruit? What about it? Is something different? I have this feeling it was this girl right here. The fruit we gathered this morning tasted like it tasted just like before the water dried up. That's great. I modified the desalinator to make the water purify the same as before. I wasn't sure how much it would help, but I'm really glad to hear that. Well, I don't know what she did, but it sure is great. After we started giving the fruit these salinized... Can you just use words, please, that will find easier to pronounce? Can you use words that someone who's dyslexic can read, please? The salinized water. The flavour got worse and worse. I've really given up on that taste from my childhood. You brought that precious memory back to me for the island. Thank you, Ryza. My reservations about the desalination equipment has melted away. Well then! We would like to continue with it, for the sake of the island, Alchemist Razorlin Stout. Counting on you too. Good water is everything for a farmer. Never expected you to do something this amazing. I'll be counting on you too. Desalinized. I appreciate that one, man. I'm still going to pronounce it wrong the next time the word's used. Of course, how could I say no? I'll keep working hard to make this island a better place. Oh, then what's this down here? Is that not the end of the quest line? We fixed the fruit problem? I can't remember. It's been so long since we started this quest line. Oh, what are you just doing here, Mayor? Well, you're not the mayor. You're a piece of shit, but... Still. Before I go there, I just want to see if there's any treasure chests. That is a very wide invisible wall around this building. Look at that. What the fuck? Good to know the boundaries when it comes to the Atelier game still isn't quite perfect. I still remember that fucking bridge from Ferris. Where it was like Ferris like walking on like in the air above the bridge. Because it wouldn't register the boundaries on it properly.
Oh, boss.
Hey boss, what was that like voice acting there? Oh, boss! Would you like to look at this? Look at It wouldn't look out of place in the capital. I guess, but the development stops here. Don't you think it's enough? What are you talking about? You don't understand anything, boss. It's important for this island and the town's future. You wouldn't know anything about it. If you really cared about the island's future, you wouldn't destroy its character. First off, development isn't good for the island. Big construction projects will harm the environment. A little too late for that. The environment here has been getting bad for a while. Slowly but surely, ever since the day the water source dried up, not a single one of you young kids have even noticed. Since the water source dried up, you mean to say you've known about it the whole time? You guys know about it? The issue with the Kirkin fruit? You mean about how the taste changed because of desalinized water? We already fixed that problem. We modified the desalation equipment and the water quality improved. It's the same as it was before, and the Kirkin fruit is back to how it was. What? Is that true? Absolutely. And it wasn't just Carl. The Elder said it tasted exactly the same. The Elder also said he would accept the desolation equipment and asked for our continued help. What? But the Elder had refused it so much. What happened? Someone without an ego got involved in the problem. That's what happened, Moritz. You're telling the truth. Is the water quality really back to how it was? You have my word. It's completely back to how it was. So please, no more development. Well, alright. Once we've done with these apartments, no more development. What? Really? Do you mean it? If even the Elder is saying it works and not just farmers like Carl, then it does work. I hate to admit it, but they would know more about Kirkin fruit than I would. And the reason I live here is that I love how peaceful it is. I don't want to destroy that if that's all possible. So if there's hope for this island's future, then there's no need to develop it. Oh, so that's why you were moving forward with it. I'm a resident of the island too. I'll just leave it at that. That reminds me! We've uncovered something during construction. Oh, what is this? A Beyblade? What? Not what? Could this be an ancient artifact? Seems it might be valuable. It's a tool made by very high-level alchemy, but it looks beyond repair. I see. We uncover a lot of them, but I guess they're not worth anything. Yeesh. My development plan's been up in smoke, and my new treasures are all junk. How will I recover my losses? Guess I'll think it over while eating some Kirkin fruit. I had no idea he cared so much about this island. The island has always meant a lot to my father. He just went about things the wrong way. I guess so. How long are you gonna stare at that junk, Ryza? Oh, it's in bad shape, but it is an ancient artifact. I'll do some research. And let's head back to the Atelier. That's where you do your best research, right? Alright, now we've successfully put Moritz back in his place again. That's what Ryza 2 was missing. Putting Moritz in his place. All Moritz did was in Ryza 2 was like, hey, I found this egg, Ryza, you take it. And Ryza went, ah? I don't know why I'm running this way. We need to go back to the Atelier. I just love running around the village. Oh, world quest? Where? And that one? That home base? All done. I'm mostly guessing, but I have a basic idea. It's pretty broken, so I can't be sure, but I believe this tool was used in the creation of Kirkin Island. It was used to make a whole island? It's some kind of tool. Yeah. Its applications as a tool and its value were probably amazing, but he also said they found a bunch of them. Kurgan Island must have been like a treasure trove with tons of these amazing tools. Thinking about that led me to a theory.
A theory? A theory about what exactly?
About the person who was originally using our hideout. I think that person was after this ancient artifact. This hideout is close to the island, but it can't be seen from it. And remember we found the treasure map here? Well, we're actually like figuring out the original homeowner of this like rundown old shack. So you think he was a Clint Kingdom treasure hunter or maybe a bandit? Isn't that a bit of a stretch? I mean, other people might have been using this place too. Still, it can't be ruled out. But there's really no way to know at this point. True, it was several hundreds of years ago. But that is one possibility. Who knows if it's true, but it's still really amazing. Yeah, and if it is true, it's a happy answer for Ryza. Yeah, no doubt about that. Why does Boss always look afraid when Ryza's even remotely annoyed? How many times has she like smacked him over the years every time like she's a you know? Anytime she's annoyed, like Boss kind of flinches. What do I want to do? You know what I haven't actually checked in like forever? Like, what's my equipment actually doing at? Because yes, we altered her one to make it so that was a group-wide heal. I remember now. It's coming back to me. And you are an extra. Boss is still geared up because it's Boss. Oh yeah, right. We kind of like stripped Frederica of her tools just to make room for Patricia. I'm so sorry. Then also equally, Patricia has a flat 400 attack, so can you really blame me? Alright, I think that's everything. Righty. 70 among countrymen. And Ryza pushing forward. Let's go see what Symphony among countrymen was. Mace fish. And depiction of the devil we still don't have. Got it. Alright, let's make the thingy then. Oh, actually. Oh, okay, I need to make more keys. Got it. I already pressed the button, Ryza. Give it up. There we go. Do I have any fire? Oh, I have these. I was gonna say, do I have any, like, fours? What's locking this off? Oh, quality problems. I say, do I have? I don't know if I do. Any ultra? Was it ultra purity? Yeah, I said we need to actually get some ultra purity. Oh, whoops. No. Success rate doesn't really matter. Oh, we don't have an adamant anyway. I was gonna say, oh, rarity. And that was it. We're just using it for plot anyway. And finished. What's this? It's a bell to interrupt that device's function. If it works, we might be able to stop it. Your synthesis never ceases to amaze me, Miss Ryza. Do you want to go try it now? No, wait a minute. Hey Dion, do you think we could maybe at least talk to Empel?
Yes, I agree. It might be better to at least see that he's okay. Talk about our tactic.
We'll raise suspicion if we go from the front, so we'll need to be stealthy. And going at night is better, harder to be seen. I think I could guide you there if you needed to talk to him. Alright, let's go with that. She's like, stealth mission! I'm gonna get my goggles! And she like gets like this black suit, gets like the Splinter Cell like triple green-eyed goggles, gets the night vision, gets a little cool and starts going, Len! Because I'm near the objective! I've yet to cause any alarms. So is that what the plot says now? Go at the manor at night. Yeah, just sleep all day, Ryza. Right, now in our vibrant, bright red clothes, let's sneak over there. Oh, but first. Later. We don't need 4,000 coal yet. I wonder if they'll ever put like a proper sneaking mechanic into an Atelier game. Like they could make it for like actually like creeping up on enemies, or like if they added like hunting in it, like you could get hunting animals for like their meat for stuff. They could have you like sneaking around sort of thing. That'd be kind of cool. Depending on how they do it, obviously, but it could be kind of cool. Oh, it's been a while since I've done Lila. Something feels nostalgic. Lila! Are you here too, Empel?
Hey. This is at least supposed to be an incognito meeting. Don't be so loud.
Sorry, it's just because it's been a while.
Indeed. I believe it has been about a year, though we cannot show our faces. You both seem totally fine.
We heard you got captured. We were worried. Are you hurt or sick? Of course not. He has me. Lila. Like, Lila knows. She's like, of course he's not sick. I'm here. It's like, of course he's fine. Do you not know who I am? Fair point.
Well, just like old times.
There's so much stuff I want to tell you about. You can't get out of there? Should I get you out right now?
By God. This is why I told Dion to behave and stay put.
We have our own arrangements. We'll leave when we want to leave. Don't worry.
You mean you're being captured on purpose? Something like that. For the time being, you all continue the searching. We will keep providing information.
This really does remind me of old times. We'll press on with investigating the ruins. We might be able to get into the deeper parts where you two couldn't investigate.
That area is primeval. Even if we have not been able to search around that area, be cautious.
You think there's a gate to the underworld after all? That's my diagnosis. Though I don't know if the dragon storm is indicating the invasion. Hey Patty, what's the invasion that appears in stories so often? Apparently, it's a phenomenon where an army of enemies or Felucia appear from the gates of the underworld and absolutely wreck the land. I also haven't seen it with my own eyes, so I don't know how terrible it really is. So I figured that invasion is called the dragon storm in the village, huh? Say, does boss still feel guilty? The water source was 4 years ago, dude. You're fine. You're fine, dude. It's okay. Kilo forgave you. You're all good.
Lent, Tal, this map will be of no use to us. Do your best to go forward. Fill in terrain with your own eyes and feet. You're all familiar with their traces. I'm certain you can follow them to reach the gate. Jeez, you're really putting a lot of responsibility on our shoulders.
We will need a little more time. I shall leave things in your hands for a while. Yeah. I think it kind of sucks that all trilogy long Empel and Lila have never got a new costume. Like, never official costume. They always just have the same look to them. Well, I mean, come on, it's been 4 years. What do you mean they wore the exact same thing? I guess we could do that. I guess, I mean, might as well. It's 4,000 coal, might as well take, like, what feels like $4 because of how, like, worthless and, like, consistently you get money. I am super curious when they next do a more open-ended Atelier game like this, in terms of, like, map design, what they will learn from this game in terms of money to make it a bit more of, like, money actually matters again. Because this game, it's just that there's too much and too many ways to earn money with no reason to use it all. So they either need to not take away, because you shouldn't, taking away content, this is never a good way to solve a problem. But if they're not going to take something away to kind of make it a bit more awkward, what are they going to add to shops or add to, like, financial mechanics in general to make it more worthwhile? I mean, if all else fails, they could go down the Final Fantasy route and just make a character or job class is weaponry and damage dealing be based entirely around your finances. Oh no, I'm not saying it can't, I'm just saying it being the first resort isn't always the best solution. There's a lot of companies that just go, oh yeah, we need to remove this, that'll fix the problem, and then it's like, well, no, no, you're just avoiding the problem, you know? There was still something you could do here. I'd rather see them expand on the ideas, like keep random quests, maybe, actually I say that, make random quests a bit more dynamic and interesting, because they're kind of okay. Fuck. Yeah, but that's what I was literally getting at. Also, it depends on the situation. That's what I was saying, sometimes. That's the key word I've been saying. Sometimes, or usually, or in places, you know, different phrases that mean not always. And this game is the quest system. Yeah. I get the whole point of random quests. With the game being more open-ended, it's something else to kind of keep your mind occupied outside of, like, the actual story stuff. Quest. Yeah. Well, the ultimate example for me will always be the original Bravely Default, because that game has only got about 18 side quests all game long, and it's like a 40-hour RPG, but all of those side quests are fucking great. Like, all of them are insanely good. And I say that, I like what they did in Bravely Second as well, just not as much. Because Bravely Second's quest system was reliant on the fake out New Game Plus system. That's more intimate, yeah. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in Bravely Second, you're forced to get a bad ending, but when you go into the true ending, the opening boss fight that you're scripted to lose, you can now win. And if you win it, you then get access to the second half of the plot. The game lies to you about you hitting an ending when it's not, when you haven't at all. You get access. You literally go, you beat the scripted lost fight, and it says and it comes up saying chapter 5. Like you just skip it, you know. But that game had a system where every single side quest had 2 answers. And depending on what answer you went for, affected what rewards you got. But because of the fake out New Game Plus, you could get the other answer for them technically in one playthrough. I don't know about Bravely Default 2 because that game's on everything but the PlayStation, for fuck's sake. But Bravely Default and Bravely Second both were really enjoyed going out of the box. They really enjoyed going out of the box for like their plot twists and things like that. I mean, heck, you're supposed to like restore the crystals in Bravely Default, and you go up to them and you just have to mash the B button, and then when you finish mashing the B button, Area will be like, "Oh no, okay, it's full enough. You can stop now." You have to actually stop pressing the button for the game to continue. If you keep mashing the button yourself, Area will be like, you're putting too much energy in. If you don't stop, you're going to break it, and you can smash the crystal, which leads to a different ending. But the game doesn't tell you that. It's just if you just keep mashing the button at front of the crystal, it will lead to something else. Oh, did we? I can't remember. Did we see Dion's Fatal Drive last stream? Because that's the only reason he's in the party. Because I'm waiting to see it. I can't remember, so we'll do it again. Just then I can like knock it out for the trophy. Because then all the characters we've currently got, we've seen. So the only ones we're missing are the ones we haven't got joined us yet. Which how many characters are we on now? Of the 11? 3, 6, 8. Right, I'm not going insane. 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So Lila, Empel. That puts us to 10, and then 1 extra that we haven't met yet. Why there's so many reserve slots? I guess you could like have like no one on your back row, I guess, but still. Okay, we're good, we're good. Get in there, Virgil. Coolest storm that ever approached. I loved her moveset as well in Ryza 2, but I just love that they've gone all in on like super flashy anime samurai techniques with her. It's you know. Just with like a pink flake, like floral flair to it as well. Bro, is this thing still alive? How? Fuck, I was gonna say, I'm gonna try and get boss. I was gonna try and get Dion in. Okay, that's reportable now, so that was the thing we need to take down. Got it. Yo, I took down a giant wolf. Thanks for your 4K. I should probably actually send you off. Sure, go to the temple. Oh, the puny was like one of the more annoying trophies in Ryza 2, actually, now I think about it. Because that was the whole, like, you had to get all the accessories, and like one of them was like super precise punies that you had to make. I said they weren't super precise, but they were precise enough to be annoying. The keyhole is right there. You know, I haven't actually looked at what like the personal character quests are in like forever. What have we actually got to do? Make neutralizers. Make bombs. Use Inferno Slash. I need to just play as Patricia, and then we'd get that cracked quite quickly. Because I could put it in aggressive, and then we'd get there eventually. But yeah, it would just be quick to do that. Use switch skills. Oh, I should probably grind out at some point. Use core items, but as Federica. And obtain puny ingredients. Oh, I mean, while we're here. But in general, like, and to just get back to my point earlier, because I kind of ended up going off track a little, I'm curious to just see what they learn from this game. Because that's like the thing that's like very consistent with Gust. Even if like, you know, not every game's the same quality in terms of like, some of them you just enjoy a bit more. So, like, Ryza 2 I think has way better music than this game, etc, etc. Gust consistently try and learn, and you always feel it in their next thing. Even if it stumbles in a different way, you know they will learn something from it, and it will be applied to whatever they make next. I'm excited to see what they learn from this first venture at making a much more open-esque map, and what they apply in the next one. Especially whenever the next saga of Atelier comes around, what they'll do to try and push the entire franchise forward in its own way, whether they use it as a template, whether they go a different direction, you know, the possibilities of what they could do with it are endless, whether they go back a bit more and make it feel a bit more like older franchises, or older sagas, sorry, whether they take some cues from like their non-Atelier games and have it be a bit more, oh, can you imagine a more gothic Atelier game that's like more in line to like Knights of Azure? That'd be sick. that'd be perfect for me and me alone. Or, you know, I'm just curious to see what comes next, because they've probably, I'd like to think, learned a lot from this trilogy as a whole. What? Oh? Oh, they really work well. Yeah, no, they probably don't, but you could throw me a... Okay, you know what? Don't have the game be gothic, just have one of the characters be kind of gothic. You know? I think they could make that work. I think they could have, like a colourful cast and have one of them's colour just be black. You know, like black hair, black coat. You know, they can get away with just one cut for me. Please. Did it stop? Seems like it worked. Good, good. My idea wasn't wrong. Now I could try that door. Sorry, there's something I want to try before going deeper. Something you want to try? That door that didn't open before, I feel like I can open it now. That door opens. It'll be easy to go back and forth between here and the village. Let's go. Oh, this door. But that being said, now this, like, saga's done, I said, obviously we've got the Marie remake coming up. Whilst they're, like, figuring out what they want to do next with Atelier, whether it's Dusk 4, starting a new saga, or remaking the other Salberg games, give us a Knights of Azure 3, please! I've been saying this constantly, but Ryza 3's map design, and, like, the idea of it being open-ended and interconnected sort of thing, is literally what I want for Knights of Azure. Get rid of the fucking time limit, because Knights of Azure's time limit is the worst. And make it a 3D Metroidvania-esque thing, where instead of, like, you know, having to get certain demons to be able to fly, to get certain treasures, make it like beating a boss gets you the ability to fly, so you can then access the next, like, part chunk of a map. Make it like a giant interconnected adventure. I think that's what Knights of Azure should be, and it felt like in Knights of Azure 1, that's what they wanted, but then they got Cold Fate and made it like the time limit system later on, because the whole map is interconnected in that game. And then Ryza 2, in Knights of Azure 2, they, like, fixed up the gameplay, added a bunch of abilities that you could unlock throughout the journey to access more of the map, but made it level-based, so it wasn't interconnected. You just went to level 1 and it was the town. You went to level 2, it was the forest. So it's like, no, get the first game's idea, do this, like, do Ryza 3's whole no load screens is all interconnected into one big map, but Ryza, like, Knights of Azure 1's, like, interconnectedness of it leading to dungeons and different bosses, but then Knights of Azure 2's beating enemies and overcoming strong obstacles unlocks you field abilities that actually enhances your gameplay in other ways. And allows you to explore in new ways. That game could genuinely be fun as fuck. Like, I could see the magic of what a Knights of Azure 3 could be if they did that. I genuinely could. If so, I can gather power from the surroundings. Oh, I just straight up didn't read that last line. Right, so this is also powered by Seeds of Light, like the device. Sorry. And then afterwards, if they want to make a blue reflection free, I wouldn't complain. I mean, I'm just saying. But from what I've heard, the mobile game, even though it's not out in the all across the world yet, the mobile game is doing pretty alright and making a lot of money. So Blue Reflection as a franchise will probably definitely continue easily. I say that Gust don't strike me as a company that make decisions based on money as much. Obviously they do to an extent because every company has to, but it does feel very much like if they want to do something, they do it. Like Blue Reflection 1 didn't sell that well. They still did Second Light and the anime and a mobile game, you know? What did you do? I gathered power from the surroundings and turned it into a key. Now that I know it's powered by Seeds of Light, everything seems to have worked. Wow, I'm impressed. Doesn't it seem like the opening mechanism is quite different from those in the previous ancient ruins? The ones near the capital, yeah? Yeah? I don't like Ryza mimicking Patricia's accent for a second. Those were more like precision mechanisms that were designed to work exactly as intended. From what you're saying, I gather the one here is different? Let's see. So it's not that the mechanism was different, it just needs to be powered. I forcibly collected it from the Seeds of Light buried in the surrounding area. As always, you say such incredible things as if they were nothing. Being shocked all the time is only going to make you tired. Just get used to Ryza being Ryza already. Why is Ryza in the glossary? Like, yeah, we know who she is. That's like when you play Yakuza 7 and it introduces Kiryu and you're like, no, I know who this man is. Alright, now the real investigation begins. Finally. For starters, let's walk around to get a bigger picture of things. And then we'll have a better idea of where we should be focusing our investigation. It's starting to liven up. Mr. Tao's always like this when he visits ruins. Explore different parts of the ruins. Uno, dos, and tres. Oh, there's a character quest. Alright, let's waddle around and see what we can find. The only thing I genuinely kind of hope makes a huge resurgence whenever the next Atelier game comes along, and I'm not saying it's not a thing in this game, it just feels less significant in this game. The focus on, you know, actual fucking alchemy, it feels like in this game, like, you can get a lot done without ever really worrying about alchemy. And I kind of miss... I mean, you can still get a lot out of it, but there's not the reason to. And I don't know if, like, just making the game harder would fix that, or what. But it's just, it feels like you can get away with a lot without worrying about your equipment that much. Like, in, like, older Atelier games, as soon as I got Chromeria, I would have needed to make new weapons, because I would need it to keep up. Or I would have needed to make a new bomb, because I would have needed it to keep up. Whilst in this game, we've kind of been just, like, resting on our laurels all game long, and we're still doing fine. And I know, like, putting it on hard mode would fix a lot of it, and maybe that's just part of the problem on me. But I kind of miss the alchemy being a huge forefront. I kind of miss when we'd have those streams, and we would, kid you not, spend, like, an hour in front of the alchemy cauldron. Just, like, figuring shit out and putting things together. It feels like that's not really a thing in this game. Like, it already wasn't as much of a thing as the Ryza games got on. Like, it clearly took a bit more of a backseat compared to the other sagas. But it's just, like, in this game in particular, I really noticed that alchemy has taken more of a backseat than anything else. Like, it only really becomes relevant for plot. Or if you really want those really cool upgrades now, even though you don't need them. Like, I get that, like, it can be... the alchemy system can be kind of intimidating for newcomers. Lord knows I felt kind of intimidated when I first went through Atelier Sophie, and I was like, wait, so this can make this, and this can make that. Especially when that, your alchemy book starts expanding and gets bigger and bigger, it feels like there's just so much shit for you to think about. But once you get the knack of it, it's great. It's really satisfying, and so I kind of do miss the fact that they have seemingly toned it down a bit. And then I get why, because it makes it more approachable for newcomers. Ooh. What I've been saying, yeah. Listen, I entirely get why, and if the next saga is the same, I'll be like, I'll still be a bit like, oh, that's a shame, but I'll still be understanding. It's just, I like the focus of it just a smidge more. That's all. Like, I feel like there's a balance they could find that they haven't quite hit yet. So I entirely get why this saga does it this way, because it does attract a new audience, and it fucking worked. We talked about this before, but the Ryza trilogy is the best-selling Atelier saga full fucking stop. It clearly worked. It's just now we've had that spark and had that success. Let's not, like, start pushing away from what makes the franchise this franchise. It's okay to innovate, it's okay to evolve, it's okay to change, but that doesn't mean, it doesn't mean you need to completely reinvent. So, I know the game doesn't want me to come up this corner, but I feel like I can if I, like, Magoo it in a way, so I want to try. Ah, okay, no, there's an invisible wall there. Alright, I should just stop messing around with that. And don't get me wrong, making it more accessible, it has done wonders for getting me into this franchise. Because as I said before, the last time I really tried to play an Atelier game at all before I got into this franchise properly was on the PS2, and I can't even tell you what one it was, but I fucking hated it. I genuinely didn't enjoy it at all. It wasn't just like the time limit or like the stiff mechanics, it was like a mixture of just everything being so alienating compared to every single other JRPG I played at the time. Like, everything felt easier to get into and just more enjoyable than the PS2 Atelier games. Whilst this, like, I got into the Mysterious games and was more prepared to give it a shot because there was no time limit. Yeah, now I'm more prepared to try out the time limit because I have more of an understanding of the systems and mechanics. But if I didn't start... But if I started or tried to start with one with a time limit, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much and I probably would have felt more overwhelmed. And that's fair, just saying you prefer Mysterious. I think... as a complete package, like if I take the entire saga as a collective, I slightly prefer this one. But, and there's a huge but on this, and I mean like, there's like monumental but, I mean like I am shining the moon here, but there are a lot of key things you can break down that the moment you start breaking it down, you'll be like, it's better and mysterious. You know? Like, I think that's the easiest way to put it. Like, as a general, like, generalizing, secrets, I prefer secret over mysterious. But on precise elements, no. Mysterious made me laugh more often. Mysterious made me, like, tear up during Sophie 2. And the Ryza trilogy have yet to make me tear up at all. Like, the characters meant more to me. And like, it's difficult to explain directly, but like, I love the Ryza cast completely. I think all of them are great. It took me a while for some of them, but most of them have really grown on me, and I love them. But the mysterious characters just had an extra charm to them, and an extra beast, and a bit of like extra growth to them, and how they like developed and how they grew throughout their journeys that made them more lovable. Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying, if like on like a casual level, like if we weren't deep diving, I'd be like, yeah, secret is better than mysterious, because yeah, on a general level, it is. But on technical levels and a more in-depth levels, I prefer the character writing in mysterious. I prefer the cheekiness that the Mysterious Saga had, where it was still a bit more like embedded in its fantasy. Whilst this, it's like, it's not modern fantasy, but it's closer to modern fantasy, you know? Like, it's more traditional. Like, it feels more like a traditional old-school village, instead of, like, a fantastical area like it did in, like, any of the Mysterious games. Yeah, that's fair enough. But it's like, I prefer traversal in this game. I do miss, like, I miss how mounts worked in Fierce, that you could, like, make them super fucking cracked and like just fly across water at insane speed, but I do like the mounts in this. I like the alchemy system. Like the alchemy system in the old game was great, and I enjoyed it for what it was, don't get me wrong, but this one's just so much quicker to get a move on with things. You can be like, oh, I want to make this, okay, let me just go okay, we're on a move. You don't have to like Tetris anything, you know, you don't have to put anything into pieces and be like, okay, that overlaps that, so we can't do that, that will go there, that, you know, you don't have to fucking Tetris everything as much. Sorry, Tal's been looking around for ages. I ended up getting a bit distracted. And ultimately, I love Ryza 2's soundtrack, but if you had to ask me which Saga's soundtrack had more hits than misses, I would lean towards Mysterious any day of the week. Like, on every single game in the Mysterious trilogy, I could be like, I could name you like 5 tracks that I just immediately would think of, you know? Like, Ryza 1, I can only think of 2, and neither of them are the battle themes. It's the volcano area during the day and the castle area during the night. Both of those tracks stuck with me, and that's it. Ryza 2, all the battle themes are great, but there you go. And in this game's soundtrack honestly is kind of weak. Like, it's not bad. It's just kind of weak. Like, it's not leaving an imprint on me. Whilst Mysterious, like, you have Sophie 1, and you're immediately like, okay, the final boss theme, the major boss theme, both of them, like, I'd say all the normal battle themes are great. Fluffy Prayer is like the catchiest fucking church theme I've ever heard in anything ever. Sophie's actual theme, like at the start of the game, is still like my favorite Alchemist theme, next to Ryza 2's Alchemy theme. You know, like the cast were great, like everything's brilliant. You go into Fierce, and it's like Fierce's theme is really charming and enjoyable. All the battle themes were a bop. The second alchemy theme she gets, you know, after you like beat the time limit, was really enjoyable. The dragon theme was sick. Lily and Suli, the whole soundtrack was a gem. Every single fucking track was good. You know? Sophie 2, the boss theme when you're fighting the dragon that immediately rips into a guitar solo. The final boss theme, but both of the final boss themes in that game were really like powerful and almost felt like Final Fantasy tracks. The environment themes were really fun. The alchemy theme was like every track in those, like in the Mysterious Saga, I immediately can just think of tracks and they come straight into my mind. That is it, yeah. You know what I mean? Like they immediately just come to my mind. I can hear them in my head. Like Ryza 1, it's just 2 tracks. Ryza 2, it's the battle themes. In this game, fucking yet to. Yeah, there's yet to be a track that's really like stuck out as like being really fucking good. They're not bad, they're just not memorable. They're just there. There's still tops, yeah. And I mean, heck, even outside of Atelier games, both the Knights of Azure have fantastic goth rock tracks that I love to death. And Blue Reflection has one of the most relaxing and comforting OSTs I've ever heard. And Second Light is so nostalgic to me now every time I hear it. Like, it's why I want to go through BR1 again at some point, because I didn't appreciate it as much at the time. Like, I was just like, oh sure, I'll try it as like a one-off thing. And then it was only like near the end I kind of really appreciated what it was going for and understood why it was trying to do. It's just BR1 has that really annoying problem of your level is directly tied to side quests, which I just don't agree with. I was just like, that's just a bad system. What do you mean I'm level 12 because I haven't done quests? You know? A secret. Yeah, so don't get me wrong, I still love Secret, I really do. And I mean, heck, my tier list, when I fit Ryza 3 in, you'll see what I mean. Like, it jumps between both of these sagas all the time. Like, it's like a mysterious game, a secret game, a mysterious game, a secret game, a mysterious game, like the whole way up. Yeah, that does make sense. Oh, thanks, Ryza, for agreeing. I did know things like that existed a little bit in my reading, but I haven't had many chances to look up close. Can't help being excited. But I also like the fact that this game, this series, was doing something different. I appreciated Ryza 1 as much as it didn't feel like an Atelier game, and I mean that nicely. I don't mean like it's like, oh, it felt terrible, but it just didn't feel quite like how the Mysterious games felt at all. I liked it for feeling like kids on an adventure. Like, there was a weird homely feeling to Ryza 1 that I genuinely appreciated, whilst Ryza 2 felt somewhere in the middle between a Ryza game and a traditional Atelier game. One extreme, but it's still the exact same argument I made in our discussions. Yeah. I don't know how to put it though, but I think for me, it's like I love these games differently. I think it's the way to put it. Like, I love the Mysterious Saga, and I hold all of those games close to my heart, even Fearless. But I love these games for a different reason. It's just there are little things that whatever comes next, I'd like to see grow in different ways. And one of them is let Alchemy have more of a focus again. Because it does feel like, it's not that it's been benched, because clearly it's still in the DNA of the franchise. It just feels like Alchemy as a whole is a little bit more on the sidelines compared to how it was in older ones. Those trilogy is great in its own series. I still agree on me saying I don't think that's fair though. Ryza 1, absolutely, you can make the argument for. But 2 and 3, yeah, no, they are trying to find a middle ground with different levels of success. I think Ryza 2 has way more success in finding a middle ground between like the older Alchemy-esque games and the newer Ryza-styled games. But Ryza 3, it's a little bit lower down the ladder. It's a little bit more Ryza 1 and a little less Ryza 2, you know? But as a whole, yeah, no, I would still say I like it as an like an Atelier. I like it as a part of the Atelier franchise, even if it does do things different that kind of differentiate itself from other parts of the franchise. But I still like it as a part of the franchise. Is anywhere near the same? I need to get out of this cutscene, because I don't think that's until I can actually, like, experiment a little bit for a second before I start making my arguments. But that I don't agree with, because Alchemy is, like, although it's like, a lot more in the back burner, Alchemy's still a part of this thing, and that alone almost, like, forces it to be a part of the franchise, you know? And the way it handles it is more convenient and more helpful. You're still not going to get better weapons unless you get involved in alchemy. You're still not going to get better armor unless you get involved in alchemy. You're still not going to get good... Items are still going to be the way you win most fights at the end of the game. Like, you know, those games. There's still some things familiar in design. And inside... Yeah, the design of making your things is the same, but the results... is different, sorry, but the result's the same. It's just the nature of how you do the alchemy's changed. Okay, let me groans. It looks the same to me, so I don't see why you'd get so excited. Well, that's just how it is. These things depend on the person. I mean, for example, I wouldn't get what all the fuss is about when girls get excited over clothing designs in the capital. Tao, careful. Oh, I see what happened. So that's what Patty was so excited over. No, not that. Patty's not the type for that. Alchemy is a minigame feature. Series made it a minigame feature? What do you mean by minigame feature? Because, like, for me, like, it felt like, with the Mysterious games, if you weren't using the alchemy, you were fucked. There was no two way around it. And so it felt like it was integral to everything. It felt like it was a central mechanic, was making sure you stayed on top of your alchemy. This is Ryza. No, I get what you mean, like, with the actual alchemy itself is a minigame. I get it. I meant as, like, I get what you're saying in that sense. Like, the actual alchemy itself, as in, like, the fucking Tetris that you did in like, Liddy and Suli, for example, where you had to put the pieces together and you had to, like, make it match, like, the right star signs and whatnot. Yeah, that is a minigame. Whilst in Ryza, it's less of a minigame, more of a you put pieces in and things happen. So I get it in that sense, if that's what you were talking about. That one, yeah, I can understand and agree with. A bit more scientific. Yeah, that's a way of putting it. You're more like a mad chemist at times with this. You put things together and be like, oh, what does this do? I'm kidding, Tao. Yeah, I was just surprised hearing you talk about fashion and stuff. You two have to stop teasing me so much. Yeah, and you need to stop not asking Paddy out so much, huh? Yeah. I don't know, I think, give me time, I'll try and get my thoughts more together. Because obviously we're not done with this game. And the mechanics also one when it comes to turn-based versus ATB. Yeah. Going from turn-based to ATB, I kind of knew right off the bat that it was going to rub some people the wrong way. Not just because, like, some people aren't into the more free-flowing stuff, or aren't into, like, the more action-y RPG, because it was, although it's still got its, like, core in ATB with the Ryza trilogy, Ryza 2 and 3 are certainly closer to action RPG than ATB now, whilst 1 is certainly an ATB RPG. So, like, that is a huge change, because I know they were all... Oh, sorry, I'm all congested. But the old ones were turn-based. But going from turn-based to ATB, I'm biased. I am extremely biased, and more than prepared to admit that. I think it was just a natural evolution. It was always going to go down that road. And I know, and before you say it, I know you're not going to agree with me on that one. I know you're not going to agree with me. You're going to be like, no, turn-based has a place. Turn-based is fine. Absolutely, I agree. Turn-based absolutely does still have a place. I love fucking turn-based RPGs. I always will. The point I'm getting at is, if you're ever going to do, if you're a developer that wants to do something different with turn-based, the most accessible way of making it that the pace moves forward while still having some turn-esque style to it is ATB. And so I'm not surprised it went down this road, and equally I wouldn't be surprised if it's here to stay. I think the only time they'll do turn-based is when they're going back onto older sagas. Like, I imagine Marie Remake will be turn-based. I haven't seen enough of the gameplay, but I imagine that will be turn-based. And if they do Dusk 4, or, you know, Mysterious 5, because a lot of people are talking about them, they might do a Furious 2 and use this game's template for it, which I think that would actually work, but we'll see. Oh, you went fam, the point happened is okay. Yeah. It's just that it's blatant opposite of what's always been known. Is ATB RPG a blatant opposite, though? And that's not me arguing, that's me asking. Because to me, for me, how I've always seen ATB RPGs is literally just hybrid RPG. As in, like, it's got parts of turn-based, but it's got parts of action, and it hybrids it together. So it's still got parts of that turn-based. Oh no, I'm not saying they can't, I'm not saying that you don't like that sort of thing. The most awkward thing, and one man, you'll agree with me on this one, the most awkward thing anytime we have these discussions is I know I don't get to that much because I'm always so busy, but odd times I'm in your stream or when you're in my stream and we're discussing something, the fact that only one of us can talk and the other one has to type. You know, we're all, discussions always can kind of get a little
misplaced or fall out of hand because we can't both talk. And another yeah. But Sophie 2 is the same. Ryza 2 and 3 better. Yeah. Sophie 2, like... Sophie 2 is still my favourite gameplay plan of the games. I love what the Ryza games are trying to do. Inconsistent pacing, yeah. I love what the Ryza games are doing with the ATB system. I kind of just want more, I think is the thing with me. Like, I liked it in Ryza 1, like, as a direct ATB system once I figured it out, but the problem there was that it was extremely exploitable. I liked it in Ryza 2, but it had some cracks around it. I like it in this game, but it's like, now this is the second game in a row that's done this more action-y styled thing, like Ryza 2 started it. I kind of like, I like it on the surface level, it's just like, I feel like I want more, but I don't know how to put it into words. Because like, the whole like, Sophie 2's like swap system, I love it for that game, but I feel like the part of the reason why it worked so well was because it was turn-based. It's why I don't really bother with the swap system in this game, because it just feels like less relevant. Like, it feels like you don't need it as much, it doesn't feel like it's as integral as much, it's just kind of there, it's like a fun thing to get more people in the party. Was the desirable middle ground. And to be honest, yeah, I kind of agree. If I say rumours, it's not like anyone's actually said anything that from Gust. Gust, we have no idea what they're doing. But the common murmur is that Ryza 3, being as open-ended as it is, feels like a round 2 of the ideas they were trying to do with Firis. And considering the Mysterious Saga is still extremely popular and extremely well-loved, it's literally the reason Sophie 2 happened. They did a poll voting for what character you'd love to see another game of, and Sophie won it back at the time. It's not out of the question that they could do another Firis game and use this game's template to actually enhance it and make Firis 2 a more realized version of what Firis 1 was going for. And if that's the case, hey, I can almost guarantee if they do a Firis 2, they're going to use Sophie 2's gameplay system. Because that was a fucking knockout of the park gameplay system. That's like still my favourite gameplay system of the franchise that we've played so far. Please go. Yeah, they did. The only reason Sophie 2 happened is because they did a poll on who their favourite Atelier protagonist was, and whoever won would get a new game, and Sophie won it. And so Sophie 2 happened. I don't know if they've done a more recent poll, but I know Gus do a lot of internal polls, like with like test audiences, or like in like Japanese magazines and whatnot that I just don't keep on top of. So maybe that will like hint towards what's coming next. But yeah, that's the only reason Sophie 2 happened. But it's like, following that logic, it's not out of the question that they could do a Firis 2. And if they do a Firis 2, they could use this as a template. Imagine this kind of open-ended adventure, but with Firis' tools. Like getting the broom, like the flying broom that makes you move at like 3 times the speed. You know, getting the giant drill thing to like burn through all the rocks in the mountains and whatnot. You know, like actually having more physical tools and whatnot. Like a Firis 2 using this game as a template, but just expanding on it, whilst using Sophie 2's gameplay, might end up being the Atelier game that could like dethrone the rest. You know, like like a fully realized Firis game could be the one. You know. Because that's the biggest thing with Firis 1. The reason why I rate it so low isn't just because it's got the problems, it's because the potential that game had versus what it ended up becoming is so wide it annoyed me. And Atelier Ryza, Ryza's a character that's entirely opposite to a character in history of the series. Yeah, but having a different character, I wouldn't ever, like put, this is coming from someone who grew up with Final Fantasy, I'd never see that stops it being a final, like I nearly said Final Fantasy there, that ever stops it or makes it feel different from the other games in the series. Like, to go back, to give my Final Fantasy example, every single Final Fantasy game has a different protagonist, and although there's a number of them that are like the saving heroes, gotta protect the crystals and all that stuff, that make a quote-unquote traditional Final Fantasy protagonist, there's also Cloud fighting fascists. There's also Squall being a student in a school. You know, like, there's radically different ones. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like Ryza's still very much an Atelier protagonist in her own way. Like, I don't think she's, like, separated from the other protagonists because she's a little different.
If anything, that's refreshing and makes her feel even more welcome into it for me, because she's different. I would always rather them be really different. I'd like, if the next Atelier protagonist comes along, and she's like a moody, miserable, like, edgy edgelord, I'd still be like, alright, she's a new Atelier protagonist. Like, I wouldn't even give it a thought. And, you know, I wouldn't even give it a second thought. I'd be like, okay, this is a bit weird, and you'd have to sell me on it a little bit, don't get me wrong. But I'd still be like, okay, it's a different take, let's see what happens. Bad thing, it's more of a categorical sense. Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Where it's like, it's not good, like, the matter of it being good or bad, it's the fact that Ryza is very much different from, like, say, how Sophie was this bubbling moron, how Furious was also kind of a bubbly moron, and how Liddy and Suli were also kind of like bubbly morons. Ryza is kind of like an adventurous rebel without a cause, who wants to find her place in the world and isn't so focused on alchemy, whilst everyone else, like, Sophie wanted to be a good alchemist for her village. Furious wanted to be a good alchemist so she could get out of her home. Liddy and Suli wanted to be a good alchemist so they could be the best in the kingdom to honor their mother. Ryza, alchemy was an excuse for her to get outside. But I still welcome Ryza in with the pack. She's still part of the family for me in that sense. Like, I don't see her as, like, separate from Atelier or feel like she's more in line. I did see your comment saying that you kind of feel they're closer to Blue Reflection, and I kind of get your point in that sense. But for me, I still treat her as part of the family. In the same way you have a fucking Onion Knight, this little 3-foot little idiot in Final Fantasy III, who's like, wants to see the world because his dad told him to. I treat him as a Final Fantasy protagonist in the same way I treat Noxious Lucius Kylum, the guy who has to be a sacrifice to stop the world from ending, as a Final Fantasy protagonist. Like, even though they're so radically different from one another and don't fit any status quos, they're still Final Fantasy protagonists to me. And I know, like, I know you're probably saying, like, but Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy, Atelier is Atelier. But Final Fantasy is the only comparison I can make, because that's a franchise I've lived and breathed. So you have to forgive me on that one a little bit. That's the only comparison I can think to make. Because like, you know, like, I can't... After I play all the Island and Dusk games, I'll probably be able to revisit this conversation just with more knowledge. Considering this is only the second saga, I only have one other saga to compare to, you know? But once I've done, like, eventually do Island and Dusk, I'll probably have a lot easier of a time being able to say, this is different, that's yada yada. That's what defines the series. Yeah, I mean, heck, going back to Final Fantasy, because once again, it's the only thing I can think to use as a comparison. Look at 16. Look at how radically dark and vicious 16 is. It's a vicious, bloodthirsty, medieval fantasy game. The game right before it was Final Fantasy 15, a boys' road trip adventure. The game before that was 13, a sci-fi adventure where the main character is a pink-haired girl in a knight uniform with a gun. The game before that was a traditional fantasy. Like, that franchise has so many huge major tonal shifts, and yet never once in my life have I ever gone, that's not a Final Fantasy game, or that's not a Final Fantasy, that's not, you know? And I'm not saying that's what you're saying with Atelier, I'm just saying that's like the comparison for me. I've always had that kind of mindset. Like, I always just kind of take it for what it is. And maybe it's just me, just like, I just take the food I'm given. If they say this is the new thing, I'm like, okay, then maybe I'm just too much of a sheep to the system. Don't say me harder, you already struck oil. I am a defender of 13. 13 has got huge problems across the whole trilogy, but I am a huge defender of what 13 was trying to do. Like, 13's got fucking gargantuan problems, because that game is, when people talk about games that are bad at handling ATB systems, 13.1 is the one I point at. That game's an example of how you don't handle an ATB system, because that game is redundantly repetitive in its gameplay system. But what pulls it through and makes me enjoy it is that the character writing and the story writing are really good. And so I stuck around. 13, 14, my intro to modern FF. Yeah, that's fair. But 13's thing is that it's the ATB system done poorly, because it's too automated. And the game's almost entirely linear. Whilst 13.2, they added a shit ton more systems and mechanics on top of it to make it better. Clearly my FF waifu for years. She was everyone's Final Fantasy waifu for years, because she was a badass bitch. And what else do you need? You know? She was a badass soldier who knew what she wanted, knew what she was after, and did anything in her power to get it. Oh, Jesse second, yeah. That's a big wall. Why would such a strong wall be in this section only? This place really important? That could be the case. It seems that we have to be treated with special care. So you think that maybe it's not all wrecked like the outside wall? But then speaking of female protags, now that the Pixel Remaster comes out this week, the only other female protag that the people acknowledge is going to be available for people to play, because Final Fantasy VI is going to be available. But I wasn't blatantly stupid at the remake crew. You know I disagree with that. They're not blatantly stupid. Cloud has got Cloud has got a lot fucking going on. If you play the original 7, you know what's going on with him. So a lot of his weird decision making actually has an explanation in the story. Tifa cares but doesn't know how to handle it because she knows what's going on with Cloud, but she knows if she says it will fucking destroy Cloud mentally, so she can't. Aerith is extremely street smart, she just plays the idiot. Whilst Jessie is just the one that's the most blunt. Like, she is like, this is me, deal with it. Like, she's the most honest, I think is the better way to putting it. It's not that the others are stupid, no. It's that the others are more subtle or more dishonest. But it's literally part of 7's story. And it's the biggest problem that people who've only played 7 Remake and not played the original and don't have the context. And it's the biggest problem with Remake, is that it should have done better to give the context. But there's so fucking much more going on with the crew than what meets the eye, and it could lead to people getting the wrong impression. And clearly, it has. Invading a well-recorded area hides your identity. I mean, they're also rebels without a cause. Well, they have a cause, you know, they're also, like, aggressive. Barrett, there's a firm argument for. However, if you told me Barrett wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, I could be like, alright, fair. But Barrett is too dictated by his heart to listen to his brain, and that's genuinely something that gets him into trouble consistently, and it's something that's heavily challenged in later parts of Final Fantasy VII's story, but because it's after Midgar, you don't see it in the remake. When I eventually, which it'll probably be at some point, when I eventually cover 7 Remake livestream-wise, I look forward to the discussions. I look forward to the discussions. Because I do want to cover it. I did the Let's Play of it before I started streaming. It was like the last thing I did before I started streaming. But I do want to live stream it before Part 2 comes out. The word from comes in every arc. That I just... You know, even if my bias aside, that one I heavily disagree with. I thoroughly enjoyed the writing of all the characters in 7 Remake, main or side. The only glimmers or blips were like very specific instances for me. Everything else I genuinely really enjoyed the writing of, because I believed and I could understand what the characters were going through. Like I said, Tifa in particular stood out for me so much because I could genuinely see and feel everything she wanted to say but couldn't. I genuinely could, and I know a lot of that's also cheating because I had the context, but I could feel it, I related, I understood everything. The biggest problem with Remake is that it leaves the people who aren't involved behind. But then the same argument can be made for Metal Gear Solid 4. The same argument can be made for, of course my brain draws a blank now. Like other games that are more directed for people who came before. The problem with 7 Remake, however, is that it should have said right off the bat it's there for people who played the original, and it didn't. It made itself out to be something new for people who haven't experienced the franchise to get into. Whilst MGS4, in comparison, was very blunt about, hey, no, if you haven't played 1, 2, or 3, you're getting left behind, bitch. You know? Juvenile... Well, it's the game's from the story is from 1997, and as I said before, it's not that it's juvenile or anything like that. It's that you're only seeing it from one perspective. You're seeing it from someone who fucking hates the system, and that's the whole point of the Midgar Act. You only see it from one perspective, and that's why Act 2 and Act 3 are so much more powerful, because you see it all get broken down, whether Barrett cares to admit it or not. You get to see why he believes that way, but you also get to see how damaging his beliefs have become. You see how much viciousness has genuinely destroyed things, not just from, you know, Midgar and Shinra being Shinra, but how much the people who think they know better and the rebels without a cause have actually ended up causing more damages. There's an entire village that ceases to exist, and everyone in there wants Barrett dead because Barrett's misguided beliefs on what he thinks is right and wrong led to that entire village destroying itself. You know? Like 17. Newsflash, Cloud's 20. Tifa's 19. They are basically teenagers. That's why they have childish mentalities. Barrett's the oldest. Like, you know? Like, yeah, of course their mindsets are immature. Because they're fucking teenagers. Most of them. Jessie especially. Jessie's 18, I believe. Well, I said in the original 7 she's 18. I don't know if they upped her age in Remake, because she felt older in Remake. They're all young adults or teenagers, outside of Barrett. But Barrett, being the only exception of it, is the reason why he's the most challengeable. Because his reasoning, it isn't because he's immature, it's because he's so warped and broken in his ideals. That he hasn't had that wake-up call that he needs to have, and so he's just let that ego on how he thinks the world should be and how the politics should be fester without being challenged, and so he's just become a worse person. Experience at their age. Okay, yeah. To be fair, I was I did too to certain extents, but that's because I was forced to, not because I did. That's just because college like threw so much shit at me. It just darkened my mindset in a lot of things, and so made me more bitter. This story. Yeah, but you also have to then be understanding that outside of, and I'm trying to be nice here, and I apologize if it, I don't mean to offend if it comes off the wrong way. Outside of your bubble, one man, for everyone else it was, because they could understand it more in a general sense that they were teenagers and the general teenage life. You know? And I apologize if that sounds horrible. I don't mean it that way. You know, like, so, like, I get your dislike for it, but it doesn't mean I agree with your points. You know, I get your dislike because it's harder for you, because you haven't, you struggle to relate with them. I think that's, like, the bottom line of it. It's just, like, when you're like, oh, no, the rest is stupid. It's like, no, they're immature. You know, they're not stupid. They're immature and they make immature choices. Tifa deciding, hey, you know what? This was basically a sleazy sex club. Might be an offer for information. I'm going to dress up and go in. No, Tifa. No, sweetheart. No. You know? Let you agree with what I'm saying. Most of my crew would. Yeah. But then we talk about this all the time, that a lot of, like, your crew, to, like, use your words, very much have opinions and mindsets and focuses deeply inserted similarly to lifestyles you've had, so you all have a shared thing. But then that also goes back to what I've said before about how you always end up attracting people who have similar interests or similar styles or similar likes and dislikes to you whenever you do anything on YouTube. It doesn't matter how big or small you are, you always attract people with similar interests. I mean, heck, you hopped in because I was streaming Mysterious Saga, you know? Maybe so. Let's look along the wall. It's on my perspective. Yeah, and I appreciate it, don't get me wrong. It's just there are a couple franchises that I'll always be a bit more defensive of, and I don't mean to be. None of us will ever be as defensive as how I am with Sonic. The Sonic, I feel, gets the worst end of the stick way too often, and that always annoys me. I get why people don't like it, and whatever. But man, some people really want to make out like it's the demon incarnate, and I'm just so tired of it hearing it. Anyway, I'm going to stick my phone on charge. 1 second. Right, there we are. So my perspective, if anything, I appreciate the different perspectives because conflicts of principles are part of what I enjoy most of life. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. We've been here for ages talking now. But we haven't had a good long actual conversation on something for a while, to be fair, so we both should have known it was coming. There was going to be something we'd be like, let's talk about this. And I kind of started it talking about some of the things I don't like about the Secret Saga. Got bad per se. Yeah, the thing with Sonic is that it wasn't that like they all got bad sort of thing. There was a bunch of games that had middling quality. It was the fact that there was one really fucking bad egg, and that just kind of nosedived everything thereafter. No one wanted to hear anything about it after 06. And I get it, when 06 first came out, yeah. No, that game is awful. It's genuinely one of the worst AAA media games ever made. But what a lot of people refuse to notice is that after that point, what did Sonic do? Make everything else AA. They lowered the amount of staff, they lowered the amount of budget, and they reduced everything to make it smaller scale instead of trying to reach for the stars all the time. And as smaller scale AA projects, they're brilliant. But everyone kept on saying like, oh, but compared to AAA projects, it's like, yeah, well then don't compare it to AAA projects. It has about 100th of the budget and about 20 people working on it in some instances. You know? And I wish I was exaggerating when I say that, but no, sometimes it really was that little on some of these major Sonic titles, and then they get compared to like major AAA titles. I respect you to see what I see, even though I disagree. Yeah, I get what you mean. And that's why I get defended for Sonic. People are like, oh, but Secret Rings was awful. And I'm like, yeah, it was a Wii motion control gimmick game. Of course it wasn't the best. No gimmick game around that time was fucking good. Free Riders was awful. It was on the Kinect. It was on the fucking Xbox Kinect. Of course it wasn't good. Sonic Unleashed I will fight people on for, though. Sonic Unleashed I genuinely think is a phenomenal game. It's genuinely my favourite Sonic game still to this day. It's just that they had two playstyles, and the second playstyle was very inspired by God of War, like the earlier God of Wars. Like, it was super, like, button-mashy action, with some exploration and puzzle-solving here and there, but I genuinely really enjoyed it. It's just when it's the game's like 20+ hours, half of it being God of War-esque, and the other half of it being Sonic, of course, wasn't going to be for everyone. And a lot of people say, oh, the game's shit because of the werehog. And I'm like, no, you just didn't like one of the features. It doesn't mean the game's bad, it just means you didn't like some of it. Objectivist, so I have the obligation to at least learn the crux of their opinion. A wise man read a very, apropos quote I hear too. Yeah. Is that how you say that word? And someone can entertain an idea of how agreeing on it. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just the idea. It doesn't even have to be any kind of fancy principle. It's just listen to people before you form your own opinion. Or not before, or listen to people regardless of your opinion. Probably to use the right words. Appropriate. Oh. Well, that's a new word to me, so I wasn't going to know it. Then after Unleashed, we got Black Knight, which is a phenomenal Nintendo Wii game. Literally, the only problem with Black Knight is that it's on the Nintendo Wii. If they ported that thing off, it would be such a great, like, spin-off game. Roll me, I love Lossy Clothes. That's fair, dude. The only quote I live by is keep on keeping on. And I said that. Well, I'm sure other people said it, but I say it. Oh, correct. And then afterwards the Colors era, which the Colors era, although it wasn't for me, I understand it, I wasn't the intended audience. The Colors era was entirely intended for a much younger demographic. Like, we're talking borderline toddlers demographic. Sometimes I work with a more convoluted example because verbosely was how I learned in school. No, that's fair enough. It's to each their own, and every new word I learn is something I can apply to my writing if I ever feel the need to. I'm not the sort of writer to put fancy words in because I need to, or to try and show off. It's just only if it works, I'll be like, okay, yeah, this can go in here, you know? Not a single hole or crack. Did they give everything to defending this place? Mr. Tao, what is it? I thought this was an ordinary rock, but actually it's part of the engraved stone tablet. What is written on it? That's how it works. Yeah, no, it's cool, dude. I think if you used it literally every sentence, then I'd be like, alright, come on, dude. You know? But the fact it's just like every once in a blue moon, you kind of just throw it out. It's like, no, you're not showing off as in bad showing off. It's just that you have some more advanced vocabulary stuck in there that are just a part of you. So it comes across as showing off because it's like, not many other people are going to be either going to know it or be bothered to remember it, you know? Retreat to the fortress. Retreat to the fortress? Where have I heard that? By the way, it's only an Old English abbreviation of appropriate. Oh, so then, but then why would anyone else say that instead of just saying appropriate, you know? Oh, Tao. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. What do you mean? Help me understand. When we came here before, we learned something similar. It suggests that the base sustained serious damage and the people had to flee west. Why do we just put... It's just playing this cutscene again, but with a black and white filter. Don't pretend. You have the wrong impression of the result. Yeah. That's some, like, Dragonstar Varnir levels of, remember this from the past. Just put a black and white filter and replay the cutscene. Look, they're even in the current costumes. There's no flashback. They're even in the current costume we're wearing now. We weren't wearing those costumes during that scene. They literally just replayed the cutscene, but with a filter. What's over sepia? Yeah, formidable fortress to store weapons. Initially, it was meant to store precious goods, but at some point its purpose changed. So if we put the pieces together, the fortress to the west would have been used to emergency shelter. The sepia filter beers. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sepia either, so I'm with you on that one. I don't detest it, but if it's like, it depends how it's used. I suppose it's like any filter. If it's used really aggressively, I will show it the door. But if it's used like for like for a very specific art stylish moment, then I'm a bit more okay with it. But that has to be like, you have to really find it, you know? Because there will be a lot of times where they'll do it, and even if they do it well, I'll be like, yeah, but couldn't it have been better if they didn't do it, you know? Fortress to the west would have been used as an emergency shelter. Oh, so is that just like they had a chat? Okay, we still need to do Tao's perfume. Oh no, this is... Let's go get sidetracked. Where is it? A little down here. An early 2000s trope. CPU is a modern standard now. Yeah. Well, it could have been worse. Do you remember PS2 when they try and do like shenanigans, and you know what they do? They just fucking invert all the colours. That wasn't like a strain on my eyes or anything, depending on where you were. Well, I'm glad we've kind of moved past just inverting all the colours. This place certainly has sustained less damage than the other ones. Yes. Still, it's clear that something terrible happened. Yes. I would commend them on making it this far. Do it being more common. Yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like, during the PS2 era, it felt like a lot of things did inverted colours. I mean, heck, Devil May Cry 1 and 3 both had a time stop mechanic that just inverted the colours when you used it. Is everything in my opinion? Yeah. Before DMC4 put like a weird timely filter on it, with like a black and white filter on top of that, and then 5 just did like the particle effects. Actually, wasn't Kirkin Island also used an emergency shelter from the Felucia? You see, even monochrome can feel lazy. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're right. So the fires of conflict burn bright no matter the age or form. That makes things feel heavy all of a sudden. The past is full of tragedies, but hopefully we can learn from them. We, who lived in the current age, can learn from the events of the past. And that is why we search ruins to uncover the past. That is that we may never repeat the same history. But it's not always so simple, is it? 300 SP? For walking over here? Oh, I still haven't seen a Genesis hammer. Weapon free. Ooh, I could actually start working on some of these a little bit. I'll do that. Just get a bit of general quality boosting. I do cutscenes, yeah. Yeah, like, real talk, if, like, and this is, like, genuinely, obviously, like, just dreaming, reaching for the stars level dreaming. If my book ever took off, and, like, you know, like, I mean, like, super took off, and, like, you know, companies start reaching out to me and they want to do films, I wouldn't want to do a live-action film. I'd want to do an animated one. And then I'd want it to, like, be genuinely very artistically creative about it. My ideal studio, if I lived in a magical world, is that I would want Powerhouse Animations to do, like, an animated version of my book. I genuinely would. That would be the dream for me. And just make it super artistic. I know a lot of people be like, oh, what about Studio Trigger, or what about all these other anime studios and whatnot? But no, like, Powerhouse, I've always had a huge soft spot for them, and they can do some breathtaking imagery. And I would love, like, that's the studio I would go to. They're the ones that'd be like, take my book, make it an anime. Either, how do you pronounce that? Affordable and Shaft for me. That's fair. They're all good options. For any animation company you could make an argument for if you really wanted to. This tower is the same one we saw from far away, isn't it? It feels even bigger up close. Splendid, awesome. This space feels downright suspicious, doesn't it? The writing on the plaque says Central Blockade Area. The central part is clear at least. The visuals amaze me. Yeah. You know, speaking of things like the visuals right now, the visuals are on the screen. Don't you find it interesting that the two people that immediately went to investigate the door, Patricia and Tao, it's almost like they've got a similar mind. It's almost like they're made for each other. For fuck's sake, ask each other out. But I'm more annoyed these two haven't got together yet than I am Ryza and Claudia. If you know about Shaft, oh, they did Magica Madoka. Oh, okay. And Sayonara Zetsubo. A blockade? It's sealing what you call the gate? Judging from my findings so far, yes. I've seen a similar formation in other ruins. I might be able to open it like I did earlier. When it comes to this, we should probably be cautious. If it's blockaded, there must be a good reason for it. Yeah, let's look around first. I can almost... The gate's going to be there. The Windle region. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Oh, treasure chest. Well, let's do studios because of how good their cinematography is. That's fair too. Anyway, writing from the Age of God. Supplies, big, make plays, collectively. I'd say they mean a production plant. Do you think this could be a piece of where Seeds of Light are made? Making Seeds of Light? I'm telling you, quit being shocked all the time. Hey, Ryza, be careful when you go in, yeah? Got it, Tao, come with me. Alright, alright. I'll go too. Aw, Patricia. They have an in-house music producer named Kenji. Is that Usuki? And he's fantastic. So if I butchered that name? It's awfully quiet. Maybe this time we'll find some Wait, this is... Usuki. Ah, okay. It's supposed to be a production plant, right? This looks like a garage. Maybe it's a mistake, and the plant is next door, and this building is something like a warehouse? I checked outside, but I didn't see any building that fits that bill. Then, what is this place? It'd be strange if there were a gate around here. Yeah, the gate's where we investigated first, and the game not so subtly went, hey, come back later. And a correct way. I just know I use it as an amateur in Japanese. Yeah, fair enough. I'm usually relatively okay with my Japanese names. It's just every now and then you get one that catches me out. Usually the ones that have like a stray letter that just doesn't belong. You know, and you just have to sit there and go, do I even pronounce that letter? No signs of the Felucia's characteristic progress, ignoring the features of the land and destroying anything in their way. If it was destroyed by an invasion, the traces of it would be so terrible that even I would know, right? It could be pronounced as, Odski. Yeah. Sounds strange to say, but the way that it's been destroyed is too ordinary. It's been degraded over time, crumbled by the wind and rain.
The villagers said the most recent dragon storm was a little over 100 years ago, and that the village suffered damage.
So there is no trace anywhere of Felucia overflowing at that time?
That, or there's no gate in the first place.
Sounds like saying letters. Yeah, but also in contrast, if English isn't your first speaking language, there are 1,000,001 things you could point out as kind of just weird with the English language. Why are silent letters a thing? You know? You mean the city experienced a war and was abandoned? Like, why do we have an E in hearts? Why do we have a U in color if you live anywhere that isn't in America? You know? there's a lot of oddities in lettering and like oddities in the language. So I think it's just issues. It's like and try to stick with me on this. It's like when you're playing Shin Megami Tensei and you have to learn a little Hebrew to understand some of the lore implications. And it's like you try and read any of it and you're like, this is in a whole different universe. Like, it's not just a different language, this is like a whole different universe to try and understand. Hebrew is a monster of a language to try and understand any of. The furthest I got was Yoda Volda, which saying that out loud apparently will get me sent to hell. So there you go, because that's God's name. Spanish speakers would have an easier time with Japanese and English. Yeah, because there are some, although loose, some comparisons, isn't there? I don't know enough Spanish to answer that. Only Russian and Mandarin are hard in English when it comes to the second language. Yeah. So that's like the only real Hebrew I know, by the way, before anyone asks, is that Yoda Volda is God's name, and the reason why it's supposed to be hard to pronounce is because saying it is a sin. It's also why in Shin Megami Tensei, anytime they talk about God, you hear a sound effect to muffle their word, like it's censored, because they can't say the word because it's sinful. So even when Lucifer is fighting against the will of God, when he shouts out God's name, all you hear is a sound effect. You don't hear the word. Because he can't say Yoda Voda. Well, he can. It's just it's not for mortal ears, so you can't hear it. With languages and phonetic languages, so crossover value. Yeah, I'd love to cover SMT, like an SMT stream. I've got the Let's Play of SMT3 Nocturne that at some point I want to do a live stream series of to go back through it. But with the rumored 4 and 5 ports coming around, I'm not going to stream 3 straight away, because that would be torture, considering how fucking hard those games are to try and do them in a row. To like race through 3 to then do 4 and 5. No, especially 4. SMT4. Oh boy, SMT4. We could do a death tally, and I guarantee you it will be over 200 by the time we finish, like a game over tally. English and German are heavily visual. To do with it. I wonder if it means the dragon storm signifying an invasion was wrong. It's possible the production equipment that was here was taken. Yeah, this feels like a garage more than anything. I like these boxes though. These kind of sci-fi-ish boxes. Well, it looks like sci-fi cargo, doesn't it? I wonder if Atelier franchise will ever do anything like sci-fi-ish. Like, it doesn't have to be spaceships and go like full Star Ocean. You know what I mean? Like, I just mean like if there'd be like more like automatrons or like cities or cars, you know, shit like that. Near automata vibes. Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking of, to be honest. There are traces of people having been here, though they have deteriorated quite a lot with time. So not exactly an untouched mountain of treasure. I mean, heck, they could still do traditional fantasy and have some crazy shit going on. Final Fantasy IV, my favourite Final Fantasy game, has the final act take place on the fucking moon. So it's not out of the question to just, like, you can make weirder and more abstract things work. And no, I'm not kidding on that one. The final boss, the final dungeon, and Bahamut are all on the moon. So you literally get a spaceship and you go to the moon, and it's like the last hub area of the game. Was that an untouched mountain of treasure? What is it, Dion? I just thought it was kind of weird. Weird? There's not one seed of light on the ground here. In the Garden of Light, they would be all over the place. Now that you mention it, you made a good point. It doesn't make sense that they've all been harvested, does it? Nobody has been in here. It would make sense for there to be more seeds. Falling only in the Garden of Light, huh? I wonder if there's a reason for that. Yeah, now like the game is saying, hey, now you've checked everything, you can go check... Oh, whoops. You can go check the door. When was the last time our basket was full? I wasn't even looking. It's been so long. Lucky Clover. But the music for this area sounds so, like, broken. Like you're in like a dead land. Like you shouldn't be here, kind of like death and disarray. I am curious how we get down there and get that bridge down. We're still missing another mount though. I think. We've looked around pretty much everywhere by now. All that's left is what's past here. Guess we've got to go. Wait, I hear something! Is this a boss? I mean, we're in a good arena for it. Yeah. From above. This thing looks like a Pokemon. Oh boy, this one's gonna go down peacefully. It's like, it's like, oh hello, Torterra's distant cousin. Everyone, prepare yourselves. Here it comes. Oh, I like the violin of this theme though. Oh, before we kill this thing, I should probably get a key. Hang on. These guys won't kill them. Don't kill this thing anyway. This turn. Right. Good. Oh, that is it, right? Trophy unlocked. Master key. Get a rare key. Ooh. Rarity, super rare. AP boost XXL. Action speed XL. Speed increase XL. Gathering quality up to sickle L. Jesus Christ. That's one less trophy to worry about later then. Leon, I can't remember if we've seen your super or not. I don't know if we're gonna. How I believe. Oh no, I do remember this one. We have seen it before. Got it. This is the one that I said I thought was kind of weak after, because we watched Patricia's one like just before it, I think, and Paddy's is like God tier. And that wasn't even enough to... I mean, I'd say that. Dion's got like no stats. Did that kill it? That didn't. Is everyone alright? Yes, I'm alright. What was that? Maybe when I used surrounding power to try and make the key, something weird got activated. I was so surprised. It's good that we were being cautious. But what should we do? Do we try to open the door again? No, let's ask them for advice about how to proceed. You say them, don't tell me. It's about time for Empel and Lila to appear. We'll talk to them and decide on all possible measures we can take to investigate the inside. Fuck, it's like, hey, your boss treasures! There. I was definitely taking that key, though. I still haven't picked up any new mace fishes. I need to like find out like where we might be able to get them. You know what I should do? Go pester Romy. Maybe she'll sell them. Romy sells everything. You're talking about having Empel and Lila appear, but how? Are you going to try asking them directly? You said we'd think of a way, but we'll be in trouble if things stay the way they are. About that, I'm thinking about taking a gift to the chief. A gift? You're gonna try and bribe him? A way to make the Seeds of Light, the source of power, last longer. There's a way to do that? Yeah, I don't understand how to make them from scratch, but I think I understand what they are. Real? Just what are those Seeds of Light? I think they're a source of power from the ruin weapons used by people who fought in that ruin, a type of explosive. Source of power for weapons? Len, you said that a long time ago there might have been a huge war in those ruins, right? Yeah, probably. And the Seeds of Light were only in the, on the ground in the Garden of Light, right? Yeah, there are none of it on the inside of the clairvoyance. Don't you think that's because the war took place in the outer zone? I see. So if there's a source of power for weapons, it would explain why they're only in the outer zone where the battle took place. That does make sense. One last thing. I don't know if they were making Seeds of Light in that production plant at the ruin. Everything was completely gone. Like maybe someone took them. Yes, meaning if you take all the seeds of light from their periphery, there will be no more seeds. If there's no way to create seeds of light from scratch, doesn't that mean devices can't be made anymore? It's not that simple. I'm guessing there's still a fair amount left, but...
I guess there will be a problem if there are no more seeds to sustain the village.
That's where I come in, and tell them how to make the seeds last longer. Well, they'll find out that we went into the depths of the ruins anyway, so this should serve as an apology. Ryza, Empel and Lila got arrested for going into the ruins. Ryza, I don't think you're thinking that one through as much.
You've become rather cunning, haven't you?
Can't you use the term worldly?
Sure, that works. Let's use that as a term of exchange to set the two of them free.
Wow. Seeds of Light EX recipe. Prepare Seeds of Light, prepare Ancient Branch, prepare Magic Powder. Oh, you're back. Ooh! I should actually like customize some of this a bit more. I kind of just don't. Fucking haggle. Sure. How are you doing? Oh, okay. We haven't done anything for the get SP up, right? We've been chatting for an hour. Right. I'm remembering now. Still need Delphi Rose with no idea where that would be. Oh. Where's Seeds of Light then? Got Seeds of Light EX, where's just normal Seeds of Light? Guess it's not one of these. Okay, so we just need to go find swords, some swords of light. Oh, the game's got to point me towards it anyway, it's fine. Oh, okay, over there, got it. Right. What are you, before I go talk to Romy? You need any stones? Okay, here you go. Hey, Rom. I don't think you do, but I want to try and see if you sell mace fish. No. Gus may have done some sci-fi. There is like that one game that I always like spot when we access the sound, like all the soundtrack lists that I always put at the bottom. That's kind of sci-fi looking. But like that's it. Queen of Surge. I mean, if I've got that many amber oils, I might as well. Trails going. I've been hearing rumors of a Sky remake, which means I may be soon be able to play the entirety of the Trails series except for Kurumi. Ooh! That'll be sick then. Is Sky 1 not on like PS4 then? Is it like Sky 2 onwards sort of thing? I don't know anything about it, so I don't know like how it is. I thought they were all on all available to some extent. Nope, on Steam only as far as I know. Oh, fair enough. Oh, this is... Yeah, so I know we know what this is, actually. Never mind. We don't have the fucking mace fish. Oh, right. Okay. Right? You're still after the mace fish? Yeah. They apparently are around. Apparently. I should try and find them, but I just don't know where to begin to look as a motorbike passes by. Because although, like, yeah, I know you can go to the places it says, but it doesn't mean it's actually there. Because it might require, like, upgraded tools that we don't have. 0 and 2 Azure. Miffed how? Like, because of how they work? Or, like something to do with their releases, or what? Oh, here we go. 5 mace fish out of that? Holy shit! Okay, I know I've upgraded my fishing rod as well. 6? Imagine just fishing up 6 hammerhead sharks in one go. Favorite portion of the cast, but I get the old GBA JRPG vibe from the mechanical and art style. Oh, so it's one. Maybe you'll appreciate the cast more when, like, they're more of the focus, like, potentially. I say potentially, because also I don't know. But maybe when they're more of the focus, like where they would, like, not the focus, or maybe a differing level of focus. They just weren't as good. That's what I'm hoping, yeah. Fair enough. I hope it works out for you, dude. It'll be a shame if Trails of Cold Steel ends up being like the only part of Trails you're into. I said that Reverie is still about to come out as well. And that one probably that one will probably like tick a lot of boxes for you. I hope. Platinum card still fair. Here, Duradra, I forgot that fucking name. Please take this. These are quite high quality. Are you really okay with giving them to me? Yeah, steam and fry them, do what you like. Enjoy your day off. No, I can't take them for free. I'll buy them or pay for your labor, or... I don't need any of that. I brought them to you with all my own. Crossbow's a major handicap in winning me over. Oh. Oh, right, yeah, I just need a cold steel sky and then somewhere at the bottom's crossbow. No, please. No, please! Fine, I'll take payment. Yes, that's great. She's so proper. 10 mythical high and roasted monster fish. So now what's left is get a Delphi Rose at some point. And at some point figure out what in God's name is a depiction of the devil. Then which between Cold Steel and Sky. Oh, fair enough. Thanks, motorbike. Usually the timeline goes Sky, then Crossbow, then Cold Steel. Oh, fair enough. Oh, we can take the mace fish off the thing now. There we go. So we're not looking for him anymore. If I was to see the light, where the heck would I be? Assuming he doesn't have to be like dug out or something. Castles seem terrible between 2 10 out of 10 blockbuster cards. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like when you like for a lot of people when you play Yakuza 3. And Yakuza 3 is like it's still a fantastic game. It's just stuck between like it's stuck in a franchise of masterpieces. Bows well in all pale comparison dating in game CS4 bosses. Oh right. Oh hey! Oh hey! It was just in a treasure chest, huh? Okay, got it. Didn't think of compared facing McBurn that he's He's that good and challenging. Yeah. I love it when you get that kind of fight in a boss though. You get the one sort of thing. Alright, we made our EXs. Oh. I did it. This should work. So these are the improved Seeds of Light. Yep, their power lasts much longer than before, and they won't break from a small impact. In just a moment, you did what the chief couldn't do for years. I hate that fact. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing, sis. Sis, you've opened the unopenable castle gate, surpassed the chief's clairvoyance, improved the Seeds of Light. You've come up with things I never even thought of. You've solved problems I'd written off as unsolvable. So for OG FF7 fans, it's the only comparison remotely fair. Yeah. But the thing with Sephi is that the boss itself, it's hard, but it's not too bad. It's the cinematography of fucking Supernova. It's the build up to the actual real final boss drop. Because you fight fucking Bizarro Sephiroth thinking that's the final boss. He has this unique boss theme. It involves like 6 members of your cast. It's like a different formula. That you've just done a super hard boss fight just before it. Like it feels like the grand finale. You win. The screen fades to black, sits on black for a few seconds, and then you just hear the dun 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 dun, and then the screen lights up, and it's a whole nother fucking boss fight, and you're like, what? And then when you're halfway through the fight, you get hit with fucking Supernova, and like, especially for 1997, hey, we're gonna summon an attack where he uses science to make a meteorite crash through 6 planets, then hit the sun to make the sun implode to wipe out Mercury, Venus, and then approach the Earth. And it's gonna be a whole giant 2-minute animation. You're like, what? Isn't the actual final boss either. And it's one of the things I think everyone hopes to see eventually is how they're going to do Supernova in the remake engine. When we get part 3, whenever that is, whenever Reunion, because I imagine that's what it will be called, comes out. Actually, the third to last boss, but he outshines the latter 2 bosses. Yeah, and that I get that. It's a shame that when that happens a little bit, because you always want the grand finale to be the grand finale. But equally, yes, sometimes you just get that one boss that fucking hits, and it's not like the final boss. It's just during the adventure. It is, yeah. Really cool, sis. I could get used to this. Sorry to bother you when you're so pleased with yourself, but we gotta move on to the hard part now. I know, I'm on it. And let's go see the chief. Oh boy, I'm gonna manual save, you haven't done that yet. Before we go and inevitably get arrested. It's good in its own merit. Yeah. It's just that that's the like that boss was the one that hit. That was the one that made you go, oh shit, you know. Well, it's like, to give a good example for me recently, Sonic Frontiers. The third boss of the game is the best boss fight in that game, flat out. So the 4th and 5th boss, like for me, just aren't as good. I still enjoy them, but that third boss, the Knight, is a phenomenal fucking boss fight. Oh, we'll do it just we're gonna do this quest just because it will boost Patricia's stats. Yep. Yeah. I don't care about the money, but that's how bad it is with this money situation in this game. I don't care at all about the money. The fact it will boost Patricia's stats, like, sure. You know, sure, whatever. Track Grim McBurn fight's even greater. Oh, that also helped as well. Having a fantastic boss fight with like a legendary like piece of music behind it as well. You just you sit there and you just go, what? Strong McBurn is, go on. Because you can tell me odd details there, because by the time I eventually, assuming I ever do, hit 900 subs, I would have long since forgotten most things. You know? Because I haven't actually seen, like, I don't have, like, the on-screen footage, like to put it to. Oh. Thanks for reminding you exist, Dion. Dion got a level up. I was like, Dion, why do you get a level up? He's in the party? Wait, he's in the party? 800k health on Nightmare mode. He basically only gets damaged enough to regain his memories. The boss scene after is literally him saying sorry and thanks before he moves on. Oh, fair. So you fight to the death, but for him it's just Saturday. Got it. But it wakes him up a bit. 10 extra defense on Paddy. Alright, let's go face the chief. It's like, what the fuck? And everyone is just pissed off him ending it at an apology. We can do that later. Where even is that? Close-ish by. Okay, yeah, we can do that later. Alright, let's try and make sure the chief likes us. Hey, chief, don't arrest us, but we might have, like, breached, like, your only fucking rule. You said you had urgent business. Oh, yes, we have very important business with you. Chief, you're troubled by the lack of seeds of light, yes? Yes, the village has a chronic seed shortage. That's why we are having you outsiders help us. Have you gathered seeds? Then you may report as you. The only seed of light I brought is this. What is the meaning of this? I, an alchemist, have strengthened the fragile seeds of light. What kind of contrivance is this? The method isn't that difficult. You take the original state, where the explosive power was being spread around, and you squeeze it to be small, packing it down into a state where it gives out a steady, small supply of power. Said he's part of a society called Ouroboros, and oh no, did they go Ouroboros or did they go Ouroboros? Because, you know, fucking no one wants to pronounce it correctly. Anyway, Ouroboros, and the only reason he's even in the mortal realm is because his once superior in the Enforcer unit bound his demon from reality. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so got it. Yeah, they say Ouroboros. The correct pronunciation is Ouroboros, but a lot of fucking things say Ouroboros, and it annoys the shit out of me. They pronounce it how it's spelled instead of pronouncing it how it's actually pronounced. Yeah, if they go Ouroboros, that's not how it's pronounced. It's yeah, he's had terrifying. Yeah. Like, I know when we get to Resident Evil 5, that has something called Ouroboros, and they call it Ouroboros in that, and it just annoys the shit out of me. I don't know why, it just does. BlazBlue gets it right. If you play BlazBlue in the dub, Kurumi goes, "Come, Ouroboros!" So big pen. We're backing it down, so it's by power. You do know, Chief, don't you? If you gather all the seeds, there will be nothing left, because they cannot be made from scratch. That's why I thought I would teach you how to make long-lasting and durable improved seeds of light. Do you doubt me? You can try it, you know. Bring that seed here. We will load it into a device to try. Directory, do the preparations. Right away. In my heart, I move on to crossbow and the other games. Yeah, once you're that connected and that invested, moving on to different characters, even within the series or separate, can always be a bit more of like a, because you want to be with them more. Chief, it's true. There's no sign of it breaking.
I don't suppose this is just an act of kindness. If you have a demand, let's hear it.
Empel Volmer and Lila de Cyrus. Could you release them both?
I see how it is. Very well. I give you my word that I shall release them both.
That easy? Okay. I must also prepare. Let the village know. I have some time. Most beloved cast from the franchise. Of the Crossbell series, people love Crossbell's cast the most. Oh, fair enough. Well, hopefully it works out for you when you get to them. I understand. In that case, I compiled the detailed formula here. Anyone should be able to understand it. I'm also researching how to make finite things last longer.
What an odd connection.
But with this, all you can do is buy time. So I want the people of the village to think, what will they do when with the time they get? For the future of the people living here. Sis.
You have my deepest gratitude.
But also baffled me, I'm hoping so too. But I am dealing with an extreme case of flowers of
Algernon syndrome. I don't know what that means.
One second. They're just responding to mother. She's using the wrong group chat. I'm really fussy about group chats. Oh, I discussed before. Oh, I've probably forgotten. I've slept since then. Sorry. Yeah, I have a group chat that's like the family chat, and I have a group chat called "What have you brought now?" Because all of us order parcels, so sometimes we'll just take if one of us is out, we'll just take a picture of it and send it in that group chat so they know. Be like, hey, these parcels showed up, so we just call it, and it's like, it's if my mum's messaging to check on something in the group chat through that group, and I get it, because I think that's the one where it's just this house, whilst the family one includes my sister, so I get it, but still. We discussed this before. It's a movie where the theme of how you enjoy something at such a high quality that it ruins things. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, it's the reason why there are some things that I don't want a sequel to, because I love the original so much. I know the level, like the bar that will be needed to better it would be too high. Like, I love Bloodborne, don't want a Bloodborne sequel though, because I don't know how it'd match it. Not just like in terms of like how much I love it and how much like I have of it, but it's got such a like almost nostalgic high value, and nostalgia is extremely fucking difficult to beat. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, he's coming back to me now. He's being blunt, but I've heard that you're able to create anything at all. Is that true? Well, sure, as long as it's not too particular. Could you refine metals? Oh, yeah, that's right up my alley. Really? Then might I make a request for you? I'll pay you, of course. It's metal refining, huh? What do you need? Part of a device requires metal as a material, but I've run out of ingots for the purpose. It's meant for daily use, so I'd like something sufficiently strong. I'll leave it to me, Ryza the Alchemist. I shall not disappoint. I wait your results. Here you go. That's actually the final song of a free arc cast. Oh, fair enough. So I know nothing on Trails. You'll be like my Wikipedia when I eventually start Trails of Cold Steel, my dude. I'll be asking you everything as we go on, so I hope you're ready. How does this suit your needs? Oh, Maiden's quality is well above my expectations. Glad to hear you hear that it's your liking. Sky, Crossbow, and Cold Steel are entirely about fighting the final boss of Cold Steel. Oh wow, okay. I almost wish you'd stay and set up shop. Oh, you jest. You are kidding, right? Yes, of course. Sometimes I can't tell what the chief is thinking. In any case, the village is indeed short on hands, so thank you for your help. Right, you're welcome. So Cold Steel is that omnipresent. I kind of like that, though. Imagine, like, setting up several whole sagas, all of them being based around one end piece. It's basically like, what, 9 or 10 games setting up one fight, that's a fucking commitment and a half, you know? It could have fallen apart, like, financially, there could have been development troubles, there could have been anything that could have thrown that asunder. That is confidence. That is, yeah, this is gonna work, cult level of confidence, you know? Excuse me, but do you have a moment? Me? You headed to the forest? It's a favor I'd like to ask. A favor? Yes, my traveling companion went into the forest and never came back. How long has it been since they left? 5, 6, and 7 built up to Sephiroth. That's the best I could describe it as. Yeah, I get what you mean. That's insane. Well, actually, to give a better example, it's like how Shin Megami Tensei 1 and SMT2 are all building up the Yoda-Voda fight. Yoda-Voda fight, sorry. The fight against the Almighty. And then you don't kill it, you subdue it. But then you build an army in SMT3 to challenge God again. In SMT4, you challenge the children of God. And then in 4 Apocalypse, you fight Yoda-Volda a second time, but this time you win and you kill it. So I guess it's more in line with that, where like how Yoda-Volda, or Yeve as I nickname him, because it's just the lettering, was like this omnipresent, constant threat that everything was building up to. So that although you fight him in SMT2, you don't beat him, you push him back. Your screams, God Emperor, but black and purple. Oh, wow. When you actually see his character, you understand, right? Yeah. It's been since they left. About 3 days. 3 days? How did this happen? Well, honestly, we got into a stupid fight. He got mad and stormed off. But I thought I shouldn't chase after him, so I waited here, but he isn't coming back. What are you two doing? I know. Okay, I'll go look for him in your steed and tell him to hurry up and come back. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds like a lover's quarrel. A silly lover's quarrel. Okay, Ryza. There's not enough momentum. I love that this village is kind of like at the top of a slope. So you can kind of just like get a move on me to get around with the sliding. Because everything's relatively downhill. Oh, whoops. Minded having the final boss be the guy who set up the multiple game series to beat him. Yeah, but I kind of like, so I respect it that they did that, because that's like confidence, that's commitment, that's genuinely believing it's gonna work out and you're gonna be able to put them together and it'll be worth it in the end. Because the more you set up, the more of an expectation you have for the finale, you know? The more you set it up, the more the answer of it has to mean something. Sorry, at the final boss. Yeah. Where is this guy hiding? Scream's physical presence. Good. And so he should. But almost every Cold Steel fan hates the Ishmelga fight. Oh. Is it just grind? Like, what's wrong with it? Is it just that it's like grindy or takes forever? Or has it got like a gimmick to it that kind of fucks around with the things a bit too much? Let's try and find this guy. I'm expecting him to be like collapsed on the ground, so we just need to look for like something obvious. It's convoluted, yet also probably blow up. Oh, right. Fair enough. Well, I guess they're not going to get it all the time. To be fair, with how long the Trails of series is, considering like, the Sky games, the Zero games, the Cold Steel, Reverie and whatnot, having one bad build-up, or one or two bad moments sort of thing, it's like, I think you can forgive it, right? When it's that big of a franchise, there's going to be missteps and experiments here and there that didn't work out. Describe it. It's not easy to capture, but you'll feel it, yeah. But we'll see, because I don't know when we'll get to Cold Steel, but when we do, I do look forward to trying it out and feeling things out and just seeing how it goes. Because everything I've seen on it looks fun. Like the odd streams I caught of yours, it looks fun. I doubt I'll go for the Platinum though, because it sounds like a lot of work, but it looks fun. See, the ramifications of first 3 Cold Steel games, the concept what ending scenarios up and everything. While Osborn is centerpiece of, he should have been the final. Oh, in the first game you get shot. Should have been the final boss of the first game. Yeah. So I'm not going to remember any of this, so feel free. Still no sign of this guy. Is Osborn getting shot? Oh, right. So again, main character gets Star Wars with Osborn, and your main antagonist dies, and you find out Osborn survived being shot. I wonder if that was like him getting shot in the first one was just in case for whatever reason it didn't work out. There was still some kind of conclusion there. Then once they knew like it was working and people were enjoying it, they, you know, like was like, oh, he survived, and just went from there. When I say that, it wasn't the first Trails of Saga they'd done, so they probably would have had some degree of confidence already that everything would have worked out. Third game, New Generation. Osborn declares wars against the only other superpower, the Republic of Kalvad, orchestrated a war of spies. Oh, jeez. Where is this adventurer? Seriously? Yeah, I know I've been to the quest objective area, but where's the human? Oh, there you are. Who are you? Your friend asked you to come back and come look for you. I heard you've been gone for 3 whole days. I'm an adventurer. I can live just fine in the woods. But why didn't she come herself? Didn't she know I was worried? Oh. So this is a spoiler, but since you won't remember anyway, Osborn didn't die because he had no heart. He basically summoned a dark god called Ishmelga, the Ebon Knight. He gives the main character, his son, his heart. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. How deep does the rabbit hole go? Giving up hearts and all this shit. Why didn't she come herself? Didn't she know I was worried? Oh, come on. It's obviously because both of you are too proud to say sorry. Huh? If one of you doesn't give in, you'll end up like this forever. So what are you going to do? Fine, I'll apologize. Great. Now hurry back to the village. Yes, ma'am. I love Ryza's confidence sometimes to just kind of tell people how it is sometimes. Look at how they're doing. Just the both of them just go, hey, you two, sort your shit. Basically. Is this part? Oh, well, don't give everything away, dude. I appreciate the talking, but if it's gonna like start getting like super fucking convoluted, you're gonna lose me because I don't have the context of the faces, do I? Fine Knight, you don't actually die. Oh, okay. So it's almost like an angel then, like an angel protector. It's like you can go. Don't get me wrong. You can, if you want to go into it, you can. Just some of it I straight up won't get because I don't have the context of like the world, and you'd be there forever explaining like all the things of all the regions and all the everything. Otherwise, that's all. I don't want you to kind of burn yourself out or like tire yourself trying to, or annoy yourself trying to figure out how to explain everything. Whilst we're doing this quick grind work though, just to get some SP, is it bad for me to say I kind of prefer the costume I've got on Patty now to her default? I kind of think it really suits her. This is entirely Cold Steel is Osborne's swan song. It's his 7D chess method of defeating Ishmelga. Osborne's both the main hero and secondary vulnerable. Oh, fair enough. The real question would be, when I eventually do get the Cold Steel, whether I get the itch to go through all 4 games instantly, like I kind of did with the Mysterious Saga, or if I do them do one and then do something else, then come back to 2 later on, then do something else, etc. You know, there was a Mysterious. After I did Sophie 1, I was in. I went straight to Furious, straight to Lily and Sully, straight to Sophie 2. Same sort of phenomenon. It depends. If I finish them Cold Steel 1 and don't immediately dive into Cold Steel 2, that won't mean I didn't love it or anything like that. It might just be that, like, depending on when it happens, I have no idea what the schedule will be like if we ever hit 900 subs, you know? Like, Hades, like, hitting 450 subs around the same time Ryza 3 came out was like, fucking thanks. Yeah, like, I'm really appreciative, thank you guys, but man, the timing. And it'd be just my luck, like it would be like perfectly timed up with something else. And each game in the world has ultimate consequences. You can't even fully process it upon completion. I love that kind of thing as well. It's what I love about Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. When the credits roll, you just kind of fucking think about what happened first. Like, you don't really process, like, you know, you beat the game and you venture. There's so much shit that went on in the game. When you finish it, you kind of have to take a step back and go, what? And think about it all, and it, like, sticks with you as a result. Quite even crazy in the last chair. So what's Reverie supposed to be in all of this? The new one? Like, where does it fit? Is it after Cold Steel? Is it, like, based on something else? Is it a new arc? You know, like, what's it supposed to be in all this, like, mystery? This is the Cold Steel 4's epilogue. Oh, fair enough. That's still the sickest super in this game. That's still the best Fatal Drive we've seen so far. It's so fucking good. Anyway. End of the game for Robbers, yeah. Ooh, whoops. Give us a samurai-esque protagonist in the next Atelier game. Please. Not like full samurai, but like, come on. Like, doing Patty's sword bullshit and everything she's doing for assassin techniques, and this, like, samurai garb that she's got, like, please. Do, like, this kind of character as a protag in the next saga. I'm begging. Because there's so much, like, animation flair that's in Patricia's, like, attacks that just make her so fucking fun. Live of the Being, Ishmelga. It'll be titled Epilogue. You'll see a dialogue, and they basically say that the end of the Mortal Realm has only been delayed for, like, 4 years. Oh, God. Oh, we learned a new skill level 70? Jesus, how far do we keep learning skills? Oh, it's just upgrading. Okay, it's not. It's just upgrade. Something actual new. Let's go turn these in. But I'm excited for it. There's a lot of RPGs, like new and old, that I want to play, that I'm really excited for when I get to. Like, once we're done with this, like, we're going to do Caligula Effect 2, because I really want to play that. We've got the Final Fantasy remaster. As I've played all them before, but I've never played the Pixel remasters, so that'll be fun to see what they do different. The Trails of games I really want to play. Arland Dusk series I want to play. Fucking the Salberg Remake 1 I want to play. Like, you know, there's a lot I want to try out. At some point, I want to try and give Knights of Azure 2 another, like, a fair shot. But if I'm being honest, I might not stream that. I think what I might do with Knights of Azure 2, when I eventually go back to it, is instead of trying to stream it, is make a review. I'll just, like, play through the whole game from scratch, make notes, and write a full review. Because dealing with the crashes was the reason why I stopped playing it. The crashes were insufferable. And if I'm not streaming, it's less annoying, because it's like, well, it's not... It doesn't fuck up my stream every single time I do it. It's just, oh well, I lost a bit of progress, whatever. And hopefully, for doing that, I might even get to appreciate it a bit more. Because I said before, if the game didn't crash, if the game didn't have crashing troubles, Knights of Azure 2, I would vastly prefer that over Knights of Azure 1. But the crashing drags it down that harshly, because it's so fucking consistent that it crashes. In a game where every single decision you make matters and there's no auto-saving, it crashing is such a kryptonite towards that game's joy. Hey, Sue, did you make up? Oh, yeah. I said I was sorry. Nice! Telling each other how we really felt, we realised that we were thinking of each other. Now I feel like we're even closer than ever. Huh, I see. Thank you for bringing us together. We want you to have this. What am I witnessing right now? A romance. I like how, like, consistently blind Ryza is to, like, any romance except for Patty. Like, Patty, she realised Patty had a crush on Tao immediately. Every single other instance ever on something even remotely involving romance, Ryza's completely blind to it. Whether it's her own or someone else's. Just, like, she was even saying earlier when they were talking about it, like, well, no, don't ask me because I wouldn't know. Oh, hell yeah.
I heard there is an alchemist who fought to release her friends in confinement.
Is this the right place? Of course the first shot of Lila is her ass. Empel! Lila! Empel! Lila!
See, there's no need to ask if you have been well.
Really? I'm quite sure we told you we have our own idea. What was your plan anyway?
We were researching how to reduce the power consumption on the devices. We were supposed to leave this place in exchange for that. However, we were beaten to it by our apprentice, and of a similar method, in fact.
I see, so you were researching the device itself, Empel.
So basically you guys are just like each other.
Empel, Lila! Dion, you really helped us that time. Sure, don't mention it. I experienced all kinds of things. It was fun. Nice to meet you. I'm Federica Lamberti. I'm traveling with them now.
A new friend. Nice to meet you.
It's getting to be a rather large family. Yeah, so much has happened way out here. On the way here. Well, yeah, we're missing 2 members of the family though. We're missing the 2 extra playable characters from Ryza 2. Where's my man Clifford? The family's not big enough. But I say that, can you imagine if they put the Ryza 2 cast in here as well? There's already 11 playable characters. Don't make it 13.
Code of the universe. The key. The door, you say.
Empel, do you think that Kark Isles themselves are the code of the universe?
I can't say. Well, like we're missing some information.
It's a set expression used to mean the aspiration of goals of alchemy, and means to gain wider knowledge, right?
Generally speaking, that's what I told Ryza.
So it can have other meanings too?
Negatively speaking, it's idle gossip. Positively speaking, it's a legend, according to what is passed down among alchemists. The code of the universe, containing infinite wisdom, appears to invite to its doorstep the finest alchemists of their time.
What does it mean? It means the code of the universe will come from the greatest alchemist of our current age. That's you, sis! But what does come for mean here? That's probably the voice in Ryza's head. That's the part I don't understand. In the end, what exactly the code of universe is.
And the Dragon Passage might become the key to that, I'm assuming. Yep.
Mr. Empel and Miss Lila, you both do not know about the Dragon's Passage, right? Unfortunately.
Then what's left but to go there?
Empel, Lila, I found a blockaded zone in the depths of the ruin. If there is a gate, it's probably there. We might also find out something about the dragon. Who ever thought we'd be adventuring together again?
Our purposes are aligned. Let us go together to the blockade area.
Yeah! Alright, Empel and Lila are playable. So that means two more fatal drives we need to see. Oh, Lila, no, I want to put you in the party. Like, you were my go-to damager in Ryza 1. No! There's no room. That's a sick pose. Holy screenshotting that. Huh? Something smells sweet. Excuse me, Federica. I have something to ask you. What is it? Actually, I'm making some treats, but I'm not confident that they're any good. Would you like to try and sample and tell me what you think? Me? Oh, I can try, but... Right, it's like, I want in sweets. So I heard you talking. Then shall we invite Empel to join us? Empel likes sweets. I'm sure he'd be happy to try your samples. He's also extremely judgmental. I remember the Claudia DLC, where they made a donut, and Empel was like, it tastes terrible. And everyone else was like, it's the best thing ever, shut up. Sure does like them. So that was my first idea, but... seems he doesn't enjoy sweet things as a dessert. I think he sees them as nutrition, or something like that. Ah, you're right. And yet he seems to be strongly obsessed with some sweets. Yes, at any rate, I thought he wouldn't be the right person to evaluate these sweets. Then how about me? I like sweet things too. You're making them for Tao, aren't you? What? That's not... If you're going to say things like that, you're out of the running, Miss Ryza. She is. She absolutely is. I had a feeling. I'm sorry, so sorry. But what else can I do? Please help me, you two. Oh, Patricia, you adorable human being. Let's dig in. Oh, it's sweet and delicious. I think it's a little too sweet. You might want to use a pinch less sugar next time. This is good too. It makes me want more. For better texture, you want to turn down the heat by about 5 degrees when you bake it. It's so difficult. Miss Ryza, your opinions are too sloppy, and Frederica, yours are too particular. My opinions are too sloppy? Then I'll make it. Words wouldn't be enough to express it properly. No, thank you. It's fine. I got it. I just have to work harder at it. Patricia's like, yeah, if someone else makes the cookies, then what's the point in Patricia giving them the towel? That's why Patricia immediately went no. Because it's like, what's the point otherwise if it's not her making it, her love in a cookie to give to Tao, you know? It's literally like, oh, what is it? It's not White Day, is it? That like the girls have to give sweets to the boys. That's like they have to make themselves. Is it Girls' Day? I forget. It's one or the other. But one of them is where like the girls have to make like the sweets for their for the person they love, whether it be partner and whatnot. Be honest with her girlfriends, jeez. Really, I thought I explained it pretty well, but it's hard to get the point across. Frederica can be so particular. I knew that, but it's worse than I thought. Alright, so about the gang. Oh, I like... Empel's new sprite is literally just his Ryza 1 sprite with a new coloured donut. Lila's is at least new, because she sat down on something. Valentine. Oh, yeah, it is Valentine's, right. You can tell I haven't had a Valentine in 6 years. Alright, first things first. Changing room. Empel, what have you got? Alright. Okay. Oh, actually, I kind of like him without the coat. He's still got his whole arm bandaged up. Oh no, that's the other arm, isn't it? The bracelet thing. Oh, Lila. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, I kind of like that. It's like Ice Queen. Oh, she changes footwear and gets rid of the neck brace. Okay. Oh, and the gauntlets, so she's barehanded. I'll give you some French joke. Nah. Now I've just kind of long since accepted my singleness. I'd love to meet someone one day, but I'm not gonna rush anything. He's not even sure there's PG. Yeah. The only gripe I have with the new character designs is why did the new character costumes is why did Empel and Lila not get one? I feel like these two deserve to get a new costume. I don't get why their default is just what they've been wearing since Ryza 1. I know, they're already adults, so they visually wouldn't change much, but it still feels like a missed opportunity. I'd have loved to have seen just a redesign, just a different take on their designs. Same to VH, yeah. Anyway, what? Oh, your base attack's pretty good. Think about it, relationships will get in the way of my political ambitions. I don't see why, where's hell she's been. Well, the thing is, for me, I haven't had much luck in recent years, but it doesn't mean I've never had, got to have fun, or got to be with someone, or got to bounce off someone in a relationship. And I hold dear those memories, and it makes me miss it more. But I've just, the time will come. I've long since accepted that. I know it's a very, stereotypical and cheesy thing to say, but everyone does have someone. It's just sometimes it takes way longer than others to find it. Alright, let's make this. In the first place, raise into my heart from loss. Yeah, and that's okay as long as you're not like using that to almost like having a relationship with someone is to feed that, you know, to like to just to fill that hole. Like having it fill the hole is a part of it, because yeah, I talk about it all the time. I don't mind talking about it, but I'm lonely as shit, and so it does like sit on me sometimes. But equally, I wouldn't want to go with someone just because of that, because I know then it wouldn't be genuine and it wouldn't help anyone. Exactly, yeah. Oh, it doesn't really matter what we equip because we're going to upgrade it. Oh, the cost. I was gonna say, why can't I use it? The cost is way too great. Got it. Goes for it. Well, not yet. You never know what time will do for you, dude. For me, and it might sound weird, but stick with me, I enjoy loving. It's not a matter of like wanting to be loved or whatnot. I genuinely get a great pleasure out of being able to make other people happy, to be able to make sure people know they're loved. If other people know they're loved, that's enough for me. It makes me the happiest guy in the world. And if I can be the one that makes them know they're loved, even better. Oh, that's when you got equipped. This is what we want upgraded. I thought about it as pain. Yeah, and that's not down to individuals. Unfortunately, there is some people that genuinely do better. There's some people that don't. Genuine question: do you think you fall under the Ace umbrella at all? If you don't know what that is, it's basically the 5 forms of basically people who, for one reason or another, don't see interest in romance or find any sexual interest in other people. Like, it's people that like genuinely struggle, people who only like secondary traits, so basically things beyond looks and personality. Like, it has to be like very like minute, specific details for you to like something. No? Okay, no worries. Or do you think it really is just like you're not that first kind of thing? They're not abnormal. They are still there. Right. Right. I need to like burn some gems. Just ready to consider it. Yeah, that's fair, dude. That's why I wanted to just ask sort of things, because if that's the case, I was like, that's fine, obviously, it's just everyone lives their own life. But it would also explain a lot, like, why you're not that interested or could see it illogical. But it could easily just be different interests as well, obviously. Everything's the right way. Yeah. I kind of get that in that sense, or like making sure you do it right kind of thing. Because you're always worried, like, well, if you do it wrong, really wrong, you could just hurt yourself more than it was ever worth. But equally, like, and this is going to sound morbid and dark, but I honestly don't mean it this way. I've been hurt enough that I'm willing to just kind of take the risk anyway, because it's like, what's the worst you can do, you know? As long as I still have a desire to try and love people, that's all I care about. I want people to know they're loved, and I want people to know I can, like, there are people who care about them regardless, and I will always be that way. That sounds fun. What's that one? Oh, we can't equip it to this anyway. Whoops. This is kind of normal. Wait, can I put Ultra Purity on the weapon? Why can I put Ultra Purity on the weapon? What? Aspect of ethos is the word pain, yeah, it's healthy. Personal dynamics, fear of pain. Yeah. I get it. It's just... Romance is a very fickle thing anyway, so it's just different things with different people. What's Sure Strike? Can't equip it anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, that's boosting Guardian stuff, right? So, what's Morale Boost? Can't equip, then whoops. He's making a break in back. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I've lost most of the friends I've made in life, but I still, you know, hold on. You know, I still have my faiths and still have my holds. Sure, I'm gonna put it on this. Body issues that we're shared on. I'm super body conscious. But for me, it's just that I'm a really hairy motherfucker. I don't know, I hate that. But the only person that can make that better for you is you. Doesn't matter what other people say, and the only person that's going to be able to find appreciation in your own body first is you. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. The next person could literally break down on a fundamental level how you're the most beautiful person in the world, but because it's not you saying it to yourself, you won't agree with it. So yeah, then. No, the hair on my head's fine. It's everything below that I'm not keen on. Well, equally, and you know what I'm going to say, you still have the rest of your entire life yet. You never know how actual terminal that will be in terms of how much it will still affect you later in life. Wait, really? The Disturbing Bell boosts that much? It might be worth investigating upgrading that at some point. Alright, so Lila's kind of cracked as well. Like 430, 433. Uh-oh. Do I bench Claudia? Uh-oh. Wait, what's the defense looking like in contrast? 325, 289, 328. God, she's actually super fucking fast. Honestly? That would be the ideal team, this trio. Sorry, Ryza. No, I can't make myself do that. I'm one of those people, I genuinely can't, if I've got a protagonist to play as, in a Fate 2 life advice, yeah, but you're still, like, at most, only a third of the way through your life, you know? I said, oh, at least, either way around. You know what I mean? You never know what will come next. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with this team, and then having my backup be this. Because yeah, they're both fully equipped, right? Boss, where are you, boss? Yeah, he's fully equipped, so that could be our full team. God, it's like we've got like a little bit of Ryza 1 in our party now all of a sudden. Wow, there are so many max. Okay, we should probably kick Lila out of items if she can have this much SMCC. I'd reach 50. Child, bless you. Well, I hope you don't do. I hope you. That sounded wrong. I meant the other way around. I hope you like last longer than that. Not I hope you don't make it to 50. As I said that out loud, I'm like, hang on a minute, that sounded weird. That was the wrong way around. Oh, they call you by. But then, on my the male side of my family, before my father, my natural father, that is, the natural life expectancy was super low for us as well. What changed was my natural father had a heart op. Fuck. Can you hold any of this? You can. Okay, you're our new healer. I forgot Lila doesn't have that much in the way of, like, her ability points. Is a gene knowing it's not allowed to get diseases? Oh, fair enough. If for me, as my... Wait, you can equip it. What? Oh, that's the one I upgraded, and that's why I couldn't equip it, and that was the spare one. Got it. I forgot we got 2 of them when we made it because we like put a key on it, so it duplicated it. Got it. I understand. Let's give her that for now. The only person I really care about with items is Ryza, TBH, and she's doing fine. Do I have a better key for you other than Onslaught? No, not really. So I'm not going to take Omnipotence off of Paddy. That could be a good one. You know what do you want to do though? Ryza, you're long overdue a new weapon. Everyone else is doing fine damage-wise. Ryza's falling behind. That needs to be addressed. I know she's not an aggressive character per se anyway, in terms of like her whole moveset, but still, there's still more we could do with baby girl here. Oh, did that have like effect spread? Oh, it did. Interesting. I was like, what happened here? I didn't even realize I had effect spread. I just chucked it on. That does a lot of work for us. 88 ounces of mind due per day. Yeah, you've rotted a lot to be nice. But that doesn't mean you can't make it healthier and still give yourself more time than what you than like what you think you have. You know? And it's like anything, as long as you're making the effort, making the step, there will still be efforts for it. There will still be something for it. Do I have actually anything yellow in this that isn't already full? No, okay, so bolt increase is worthless. Attack increase. Do we have something that isn't... C, defense. Attack increase M. Okay, keep an eye on that one. Air increase. That one's already full. Quality, air. Quality, attack small. Quantity up, ice increase. Attack increase L. Reality is rarely forgiving. No, it's not forgiving, but you can give yourself more time. To be blunt, you can give yourself more time than you first assumed. I think considering, like, you're not old, you know, like you're 30, you're in your 30s for fuck's sake, you're not old, you're still not close enough, I suppose, by about 7 years of the prime of your life, that there's still room to breathe in your body, there's still room to breathe to grow, and there's still room to breathe for your body to just get better. Not like get entirely better, because I think some damage, if you've drunk as much as you say you have, is going to be undoable, but equally, you know what I mean, you can remedy and rectify a number of what you've done to yourself. And so, I would say,
I'm not old. I'm not foot in the grave. Yeah, but that doesn't mean the other foot's going in, is what I'm getting at. The other foot's not going in, I don't think, anytime soon. And maybe that's me being optimistic, but it's what I'm choosing to believe. What's power of bonds? Okay, can't have it. I wish on the super traits you could just set it so it would only show ones that you can actually apply. Oh, that would be good on armor. What was ultra skill? I feel like that one's skill power by 50%. Yes. What's pride stun? When you stun an enemy, you earn additional AP, but if you are stunned, you lose it? No, I'll pass, thanks. Dead ages ago. But then that's just proof to my point, isn't it? You've already lasted longer than you would have ever expected. That means something. That has to mean something. Obviously held up the medical doctors. Alright, let's see how cracked of a weapon I just made for Ryza. So I think I got a little smidge carried away. I got a little carried away. Okay, she's back on the team. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Oh shit, 512. Uh-oh. Medical science, advanced ludicrously fast. I mean, that too, but equally you outlived where you thought you would. That's the point I was getting at. I can get rid of the old weapon. Oh, did I? Hang on. Did I actually equip the, I did, okay. Did I actually equip Lila up? I already forgot. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always think of back to a fucking future armor where the professor's like 300 years old. Or how like all the presidents are like have their heads in a jar. I miss Futurama. I'm glad it's coming back, but I'm so nervous about it coming back because like that last season of that show, or the last couple seasons, was so scuffed just because they didn't have most of the writing team back at the time and they were kind of rushed with deadlines thanks to Comedy Central. Around psychiatric meds being developed as a tolerance of, yeah. Feeling meditation, yeah. I am gonna, just as a heads up, I am gonna wrap up pretty soon, but I want to do a test run with our new party composition first, and then I will. I just want to kind of get some gems together and duplicate some of our better Goldatrons. Okay, you can only duplicate 3. So medication with some dietary meds and something that's a mood regulator. My team got creative. To be fair, like I think that's just genuinely like awe-inspiring, personally. Like hearing about all that stuff, because that's a lot to be able to like handle and go through and even do. And yet there was that level of dedication to make it work and make it right for you. Like that's just amazing for me. Hey, Gold Beauty, nice. So we've got still can't make that perfume. Are we going back to plot? Yeah, we're going back up to the gate. Okay, the gate, I think that's Underworld, so I don't want to do that this stream because I want to, like, dive in. So I'm literally going to go out, find some enemies to beat up, and just kind of feel out how Lila works in this game. Oh, actually, before I completely forget, there's one little detail I need to do. No, is it in this menu? No, there we go, this. Oh, it has those recommendations? Alright, fine, I'll listen to your recommendations.
Phoenix legs sounds cool. Heart attacks, and I basically used anger power to get out of them. Jesus, that existed. What, the recommendations or this customized orders menu? Or the fact that the customized order menu expands as you go throughout the game? Entire game without knowing about this menu. Oh, it's one of my favorite things about the gameplay system, that you have so much more control over the tactical level stuff. That you can have for a number of turns, often enemy charges special attacks, when tactical levels increases, when the enemy's stunned, and once the skill is used a number of times. Is it you go to order and then you just click, just press X when you're on any of these. Oh, that's the other thing we can check, quick. What are the character quests for our new buddies? Make food, yeah, that tracks. Get poisons, that also kind of tracks. We're Fred Pet. Oh. Now, you know, that's one of my favorite things in this game, is that you can control what triggers the special commands. And you can change the special commands as you unlock more as you go. I was going to review Rosa Free. Well, I'm glad I helped. Oh, this, where'd be a close enemy? I just want to fight something. Spend some time. Sure, I'll just fight these guys. Oh! Just seeing this girl get ready for a fight again just puts a smile on my face, because I'm getting like Ryza 1 flashbacks. It's why I trigger so many of these effects, because I have this. Damn! I like that animation. What's the reasoning? We're being a bit this. It's only missing an entire function. Yeah. I mean, but that's just the nature of being human, though. There's always a chance you can miss something. To be fair, I keep on forgetting about it because it's a little tucked away. You know, you have to go into the menu, go into the skills, scroll along to the order skills, then click on it to access it. Like, it's a little hidden away for something so significant. Oh wow, that's a cool animation. I'm not making a review. That's fair. Alright. I kind of got a vibe. There's no like super strong enemy around for me to fight to try and see what her level 5 is. But that's fine. Well, fucking what's the name of that enemy that you can beat the shit out of? Lamb roast? Where's that? Let me speed up the gameplay. Yeah. I need that. That would be a good way for me to get all the fatal drives. But I'm actually kind of... My complaints was mechanical pacing. Yeah, I get that. But I'm actually kind of happy with this whole team we've got. Not even just, like, main team, as in, like, party squad. Because Boss, although these two are significantly weaker than this, like, they're good reserves. Like, they're defensive. And so they'll be able to tank an odd hit. Like, I might actually give, like... Might actually put, like, a resurrection item on either of them. So if we ever get, like, stuck, I can just, like, swap them out, try and pick up one of these three, and then get back in the fight. Oh, I should actually look at what the order drive... Drive? I need to wrap up my stream soon if I'm saying drive. Drives are... deals magic damage to a single enemy, lowers all its stats, grants acceleration to all allies, Deals physical damage to a single enemy and has a moderate chance to lower a random secondary elemental resistance by a level according to number of spirits. That is very fucking technical. That's like a fucking wiki page. This one's cool though. Lowers all of their stats will be sick. I'm taking that one. Weaken the enemy. Too much like even particular. But then that's just like a lot of people do unfortunately pass in their sleep because a lot of your immune system and whatnot like slows down, or a lot of your functions slow down to let you rest. I wouldn't put that down to you being like some kind of like misfortunate prophet in that sense. I know that's not what you mean, but hopefully you kind of get what I mean. Like, I'd be willing to throw that down as more of just a tragic coincidence in that sense, in terms of how you predicted it. Right, even I don't want to. I do get the whole like sometimes your sixth sense goes haywire, and like something in your gut tells you it's going to be something, and then it ends up being right. But there's a whole like study on about like, hey, if your sixth sense is telling you something, it's because of something in the scenery giving you this information without you realizing, or some shit like that. I don't know all of it off by heart. Snaps. Physical bonds. Yeah, I get what you mean in that sense. Oh, I got an email at the start of the stream saying there's a parcel arriving me between 12:30 and 1:30. I just got another email saying, sorry, we've had to delay it and reschedule it, and it's 15 minutes later on both sides. Like, what was the point of the email? I wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, what just happened. But I'm glad to see you both again. I was a little worried. There should be nothing to worry about. Empel, you act like you know everything all the time, but looking back, you've made mistakes here and there.
What? I do things while taking everything into account.
Well, I think your actions are pretty reckless. I've been watching you be that way even before we met Ryza.
Lila, you don't think about the consequences of your actions.
The longer you live, the more you can imagine what you can and can't do even before you do it. I do things because I think that I can, not because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Then so do I.
Even then, your body wouldn't be able to keep up. When there's a difference between your looks and your age, I'm sure it creates a lot of wrong assumptions. Isn't that right, Empel? So how you feel? Yeah, these two I wish would hook up. Oh, I wonder how old Empel actually is. Not as old as Lila. They've made that joke. They made that joke in Ryza 1. They made it again, that you don't ask the Orin their age because they're going to be hundreds of years older than you. But I'm going to save here. And I'm going to call it for this stream. Tomorrow we're going to be playing more of this. Like, we're back on like the Ryza binge for the next couple streams. And hopefully my grand plan that I've been doing with the internet to make it more consistent continues to work. I haven't noticed any dips this stream, so clearly something fucking worked. But we'll see. Why do I know a shocking plot twist? Uh-oh. Go on then, before I wrap. Save I know thing. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to wrap up then. As always, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps this channel grow. You can also find my Twitter and Patreon in the description of every video if you feel so inclined. But tomorrow we'll be back on the Ryza grind, probably going into the 4th region. Hopefully it'll be the Underworld. And maybe meeting that last character, because there's 11 playable characters and we've got 10 now. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Peace.